Stop for beer for Pritchard. Your mother's a whore. I think I do it better Bruce doing Terry than I would do an actual Terry.
Hey everyone, welcome to the We Like Wrestling podcast. I'm here with the whole gang. Justin.
Heyo.
Joe.
Yo.
John.
Hey everybody.
Your mother's a whore. Cause I'm free falling.
Who has a fun fact?
I do.
Fun fact.
Sean Mooney has a show.
Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah. Sean Mooney. I like Sean Mooney. Whatever.
Yeah, I never knew this, but over in Barcelona, Spain, Tito Santana actually defeated The Undertaker in a main event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Well, was it
Tito's from Mexico.
Yeah, but bullfighting is from Spain, so he was over.
Oh, El Matador.
Yeah. So yeah, I never knew that.
Wow.
Before we get into the episode, I just want to say, holy shit, Legends of Hamburg is shaping up to be fucking amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
So just announced Wednesday
This week.
Dr. David Schultz.
Slap a motherfucker for being a motherfucker.
You're gonna have people paying him to slap them. It's
like the way they paid Sam Andy Keenum.
Yeah.
Hopefully this guy.
But Schultz, I think, will actually
He's probably like 78.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Anything will be better than that Sandman hit.
I'm just saying.
He's probably pretty old.
Two big names I'm excited for. Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
Who I've actually met before. Really good
from
guy.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm excited for that. I always liked Anderson, Kennedy, whatever.
Yeah, I liked Kennedy. I didn't realize
66, by the way.
Yeah, that's it.
David Schultz.
Must have been really young.
So I can't wait to meet him. And this is fucking huge. Booker T.
Five-time?
Five-time.
No, 6.
5-time WCW.
Yeah, 5-time.
1-time WWE.
Fucking Booker T.
2-time Hall of Famer. He's also like a 12-time tag champ in Harlem Heat or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And then in WWE, he had it a few times. Yeah.
Him and Goldust had it.
Yeah.
Book dust.
Fuck, man, this convention.
Also, hail King Booker.
Owner of Reality of Wrestling.
Yep.
A training school and promotion.
Yeah.
We're the trainer of the Usos.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Shoki dokie.
Two fun facts this week. Look at that.
You didn't know that the Usos were trained by Booker T?
Mm-hmm.
He literally says it on every pre-show he's on. It's like his only accomplishment. He doesn't give a shit about being a Hall of Famer or world champion. He's like, yeah, I trained the Usos.
I don't pay
All I
attention
know
when
is
he
when he
talks.
says Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Yeah.
It says Shucky
Or
Ducky.
the time he said the N-word on a WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it wasn't a pay-per-view. I think it was Clash of the Champions. It was on TV.
Oh, was it? No.
Yeah.
Coming to get you.
David Adams is going to be the voice of the convention again. So
Oh, okay.
he's
nice.
very energetic. Kind of reminds me of Joey Styles in a way.
Yeah. He was great last year.
Yeah.
I've met him quite a few times.
This episode is, I want to say,
Dedicated to?
yeah.
Or in remembrance of, or our
Tribute
fond
to,
memories of.
So Owen Hart
Passed away 20 years ago? No.
1999, so
Yeah,
23.
23.
May 23rd. So was what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
as of the
Or
recording.
3 days ago?
3.
Yeah. What? How much longer do you think he would have been in the ring?
I think
It was only 33.
I think-
34 when he died.
it was a matter of time before he would have been a champion, at least. If it wasn't for WWE.
A world champion?
Yeah. If it wasn't in WWE, I think he would have eventually left.
Yeah. Well, according to the Dark Side of the Ring that they did on him, he had only signed for I think it was another 5 years. So just before he was 40, because he had just bought a house. So that's why he did another 5 years to to pay off the house he just got.
Tell me when TNA started, he wouldn't have been their guy.
Oh hell yeah!
You know?
He'd have been Christian before Christian.
Yeah. He definitely could have been.
Yeah.
So from Calgary, right? We have it from we starting there.
I mean,
Talking about his stuff. He's an NWA North American champion, I believe.
well, he was born May 7th, 1965. So, well, he died like 2 weeks after his birthday.
Yeah.
Owen James Hart is the youngest of 12
Yeah.
children.
God.
I don't even think I can name all 12.
Ooh, is that a challenge?
I mean, I could cheat.
All
But
right, let's say Owen Brett. Those are the quick ones.
Bruce.
Keith.
Bruce, Keith, Smith,
and then
Diana.
Diana's at one of the, and then Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, and what's the other? The one that there was one that was like a model. Was that Diana? Was Diana a model?
Diana was Bulldog.
Yeah, but
And Georgia was
I'm trying to-
Neidhart.
Yeah, who was the model? There was a model, I thought. There was a third sister, I thought.
Yeah. I think it was 3 girls and 9 boys. Was it? Or was it 8 and 4?
No, it was 3 girls, 9 boys.
They were spitting out kids left and right.
And they're like a David Hart. I
There
thought.
was a David, but I think that was a kid. I think David is David the one that died when he was a little kid.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
one
was-
of them had died when
So Smith, Bruce, Keith, Wayne,
Wayne died.
Dean,
Dean.
Brett, Ross.
Dean, I think, is the one that died like the day before the day, or like a couple of days before, like Brett wrestled something. It was a big match. And I think Dean had just died.
Oh, let's see. Trying to find.
So he comes, he's literally the runt. And that's he does eventually start running with that.
Dean died in 1990.
Probably. I
And
think I would
he
have been
was-
just before he faced Perfect and Brett.
36.
Yeah, terrible.
And Smith
Gee.
passed away.
Do you think
Right.
the Hearts, and I know this is kind of off topic, you think the Hearts are actually the greatest wrestling family? Because, like, yeah, they have a lot of kids that wrestle, but outside of Brett and Owen, and even Brett, and you got to say this, and Owen, they're great wrestlers, but they're not great professional wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like, they're really good bell to bell, but that other I don't know if either of them really had it.
Well, I think Brett did because he was super over.
Is wrestling because nobody else wrestled like that, but his promos were fucking terrible. And
I think
we all
Owen-
know the
Excess
classic.
of execution and
We all know the classic. Owen kicked your leg out of your leg.
Yeah,
That's why you're.
we'll get to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think either of them are good promo.
I think Owen was better. on
Yeah,
the mic.
Owen's more charismatic, and because he could get you to hate him,
Yeah.
I'm not a nugget.
but just like his he would just run around and his woohoo that would piss you off.
I remember his slammies, you both slammies
Yeah.
just to work on your nerves.
Yeah,
And one wasn't even his, wasn't it? One
he
was
stole it
yeah.
from Bob Backlund for best bow tie.
One he won, and the other one, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Let's see. Owen is a one-time USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion.
Huh?
That just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? USWA is
was a
Lawler's.
pretty big thing. Yeah, I mean, they were.
That's
It's
Memphis.
It's what? Yeah, it's Memphis.
That's Lawler was the king of that.
and yeah, Owen and Brett went there a lot. As
was
heels.
A town exchange.
It's weird on WWE TV. Lawler and Jeff Jarrett were the
Heels.
heels, and then when they went down there, Brett and Owen were the heels.
Because they came from up
It's
north.
Memphis, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a two-time Intercontinental Champion,
Only two.
one-time European Champion,
Yeah.
and a 4-time Tag Team Champion.
Uh,
Also the 1994 King of the Ring.
But
So
never
tag
with people who
champs.
you'd think it would be.
it was Yoko,
Yeah.
Yoko twice. Him and Bulldog.
twice.
And that, did
him and Jarrett.
Jared have it?
I think so.
I thought it was him and Yoko twice and him and Bulldog twice.
I mean, could have been.
But it not with like Neidhart or like Brett.
him and Neidhart were the new foundation.
I feel
After
like
High Energy.
I feel like I remember him and Jarrett having belts together. I don't know if they were tag belts or if they were just
I mean, they were really like when they were put
Maybe he-
together. They were put together in a time where like the tag division was kind of
Yeah.
shit.
maybe he was European and Double J was like Intercontinental or something. I don't know.
Could have
But
been.
You would have thought like when they had reformed the Hart Foundation with all 5 of them that like Brett and Owen would have like won the tag belts together,
Yeah.
like like.
But they weren't the tag team in that group. Brett was the Flair.
Oh, I know,
Mhm.
but
And then-
you still like even if they just won it for like
Owen was the
one
IC
night,
champion during that.
Yeah, and then Bulldog was
They never really tagged. They really all had it. It was either we're each wrestling someone or we're having a 4-on-4.
I
There's
think
never-
Bulldog might have been European, but Neidhart didn't have anything.
Bulldog was European before the Hart Foundation. Bulldog won the European title against Sean, or Sean beat Bulldog for it.
didn't him and Owen.
Him
the
and Owen were the
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah,
This was during Camp Cornette.
Sean beat
Bulldog for
Bulldog
it.
for it.
Yeah.
that's what made Sean a Grand Slam champion.
And that was during Camp Cornette times. That wasn't Hart Foundation times.
Oh, so here's the Hearts in order, like oldest to
Oh,
youngest.
we don't need that.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
focusing on Owen, the youngest.
Yes,
He was
he met his future wife in high school.
Yeah.
He tried lots of other jobs that he didn't care for before he tried wrestling. He wrestled under a mask one time as the British Bulldog.
What?
This is, I guess,
I
like
don't know about
when he was in college before he was like working for a company. I think it was just like a one match thing.
where.
I don't know what to say.
probably up in Canada somewhere, I would think. Well, and he
Said
started
during his time in college, he wrestled incognito under a mask as the original British Bulldog. And after he graduated college, he wrestled as Bronco Owen Hart.
That sounds like a Steiner's LJN lookup.
so Owen and Double J had the belts.
okay.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Okay, I couldn't.
I thought they did.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember if they did or not.
Started wrestling for Stampede, which was, I don't know if one of you guys want to get into that more. Like
What?
Stampede, owned by Stu, owned by his dad.
Yeah.
Ran out of Canada.
Ran out of their house.
And I think Stu, like, he ran all. He was like Vince. Like, he was the promoter, the booker. He did it all.
We need to make sure there's a good main event tonight.
Hey, Vince, can you get the Rhino a job?
He's been training really hard, taking all of his vitamins.
But
Wow.
when Owen came
He
to
just-
WWE,
He
that's
told
why
me
he was
that
the
he
Blue
only
Blazer.
snorts them because he doesn't like the taste of his vitamins. So that's why he snorts the Louders. They're vitamins, not cocaine.
In 1986, Owen teamed with Ben Bassarab.
In 1996?
86.
I was going to say, what?
And won the Stampede Wrestling International Tag Team Championship.
I thought he won the tag titles with Pillman.
I don't know. I don't know who Ben Bassarab is.
I don't know, but I thought he was I thought he tagged with Pillman back then.
Maybe they did win the belts.
Maybe.
He won PWI's Rookie of the Year, 1987.
Hmm.
Him and that Bassarab lost the tag belts to Johnny Smith and Dynamite Kid. I know who one of those people is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1987, he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he wrestled. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this. Kaiichi Yamada.
Well, he wrestled Liger there.
That is Liger.
Oh, okay.
He wrestled Kaiichi Yamada before and after his Jushin Liger gimmick.
I was gonna say,
So
yeah,
that's his
he
real
wrestled
name.
him under Liger. I know that.
In 88, he defeated Hiroshi Hase for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship,
Yeah, I remember
That's the little
that.
baby belt.
becoming the first non-Japanese wrestler to win it.
I did not
That's
know he was
cool.
the first.
Yeah,
I knew he
didn't
held
know
it because it's like that belt is an actual belt. Like you could hold up your pants with it. It's so damn small.
So that's like their cruiserweight.
No, you
Like a
can't.
light
Don't
heavyweight?
do that to Japanese belts. It's not how that works over
Oh,
there.
was it junior heavyweights? I know what that meant.
But they have it in like you. If you're a junior heavyweight, that is your belt. It's like UFC. Like you can't just be a welterweight champion and then be a heavyweight champion. You
You have
won
to
the
move
division.
up in weight division.
You won the championship of your division. So when you're a junior heavyweight, you are a junior heavyweight. When you win that belt, you've won the title of your division. Like
Okay.
Young Bucks were never going to hold the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, heavyweight tag team champions, because they're just not. That's not what they are. But they won the junior tag team champions. It doesn't mean anything less. It's
Okay.
not a ranking order. You know what I mean? It's not a that's the top guy. This is bottom. You know, it's more of you're the guy of each of the divisions.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like American belts where you have the top and then your B, your C.
Yeah, your
Your
secondary
tags, yeah.
title. Okay. He held the belt for a month and he lost it to Shiro Koshinaka. I don't know who that is. In 1988. Then he went to the WWF.
Blue Blazer.
Yes.
WrestleMania 4.
He did not want to capitalize on being Brett's younger brother, so he was the Blue
Wrestled
Blazer.
Since
under
day
a mask,
one.
yeah.
He
He did.
debuted as the Blue Angel, it says.
Oh, really?
And then on TV, it was a Blue Blazer. So I'm guessing they probably tried it out at
Yeah.
live events. He beat Terry Gibbs, Steve Lombardi, and Barry Horowitz. Well, there you go. That's a Hall of Fame career right there.
Hey, nothing wrong with Barry Horowitz.
Justin has a Blue Blazer figure.
Yeah.
Not this Blue
No,
Blazer.
No, much different.
He made his pay-per-view debut at Survivor Series 88.
Oh, really?
He was on the Ultimate Warriors team.
Yep.
With-
He got eliminated, I think.
don't remember that at
first
all.
Or second.
Warrior, Brutus Beefcake, Jim Brunzell, Sam Houston, Owen Hart. That is a
Why?
who's who.
Just Jim Brunzell.
He was a
He was a
sub.
solo.
Oh.
He was somebody got hurt and he filled in.
I know 3 of those guys.
Yeah. B. Brian.
Killer Bees is Brunzell.
B. Brian Blair was going by then.
Mm.
So
Yeah. But he was
So
a
wrestling.
fill-in. I forget who it was that got hurt. What a weird team that is. But they went against Honky Tonk Man, Greg Valentine before they were a team, Outlaw Ron Bass, Bad News Brown, and Dangerous Danny Davis.
Wow.
I know 4 on that team.
I'm sorry, who was after Rod Bass?
Bad News Brown and Dangerous Danny Davis.
So all of those are managed by Jimmy Hart, except for Bad News Brown.
Yeah, Bad News didn't have any managers
Yeah.
or friends.
Yeah. So why is he on that? That's weird. You didn't have anybody else that Jimmy Hart managed?
Did he manage Outlaw Ron Bass too?
I thought so.
Did he?
no. Maybe I think down in like the Memphis area or something, but not in WWE.
That's like a thrown together. I know those Survivor Series teams are all thrown together.
All of it,
but
it
that's-
was, yeah.
Those are just random
But-
people.
Well, remember back then though too. A lot of times the teams were like usually guys that were feuding with each
Well,
other.
Warrior and Honky were the captains because Warrior just won the belt off of him.
I would
Yeah.
assume they were the
But
captains.
none of these other guys make any sense. Like if Owen's debuting, who's he feuding with? Like who's
It's probably Danny Davis or something maybe.
I don't know. Beefcake and Outlaw? Is that when he shaved his head? I
Yeah.
don't
Maybe.
remember.
Yeah.
The Spur. Yeah.
Owen was eliminated by Valentine.
Who will be at Legends of Hamburg, July 23rd? Be there,
Just
be
about to
there,
say
be
that.
there.
Nice segue.
He continued to wrestle enhancement talent and winning, but lost to bigger stars.
He wrestled at WrestleMania 4, though. Who did he wrestle? Didn't he wrestle at 4?
Oh, he wrestled it Tuesday in Texas.
He lost
Yeah.
to Ted DiBiase on Saturday night's main
Tuesday
event.
in Texas is like 91. We're like way before that.
Yeah, we're in 89.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He made his WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania 5, where he
Oh,
lost
5.
to Mr. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Then he left right after WrestleMania.
Hmm.
He
I
toured
I thought it was 4. But, you know, things run together.
Japan, Mexico, Stampede.
Yeah.
Stamp-
Mexico, he wrestled Eddie when Eddie was really young. I don't know if it's on there.
Was that
Black Tiger?
yeah.
No, not yet.
He stayed with Stampede till they went out of business in December of '89. Oh, they didn't go out, but didn't Vince buy them?
No, Bruce tried to take it over,
Oh,
and it failed after that. So it went out of business. Then Bruce tried to take it
to
over,
revive it, kind of.
and then that's when Vince stepped in after Bruce had it.
Oh.
Vince didn't buy it from
Stu.
Stu.
Okay, I thought Vince was trying to help him out because they were friends. Like, hey,
No,
you know,
when Bruce tried to then revive it back in '92 or '3, whatever year, that's when Vince, he kind of was, they were trying to help talent exchanges, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like talent exchanges, sure, but Giant Gonzalez isn't getting it done, dude. You know, like sending him there, he ain't drawing shit.
And I'm sure Vince bought it for pennies.
Well, at that point, I don't think he bought it. He was just helping. I think he did eventually buy it, but I don't know if that was when he bought it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm sure he bought it for pennies.
In Mexico, he lost his blue blazer mask in a mask versus mask match against El Canek, which I probably didn't pronounce right. It was the last time he was a blue blazer until 1998 in WWE.
But I thought Coco Beware was the blue blazer.
He returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he wrestled in Germany for Catch Wrestling Association.
Yeah.
1991, he went to WCW. People forget about that.
And he wore pink, bright pink or bright orange, like that.
He wrestled 5 matches,
Yeah.
all against preliminary talent, and 1 tag team match with Ricky Morton, which could have been interesting.
I forgot
Ricky-
about that.
Ricky Morton's wrestling with his son now.
With whose son? Owen's son?
And won't,
Ricky Morton's son.
won't they also be at Legends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I got sidetracked. I didn't know pronouns, pal. I thought you meant Ricky Morton is training like Owen's kid. I was like,
Well, he's
I didn't hear this.
teaming. He's teaming with.
his own son.
Ricky Morton
Who
Jr.
the fuck cares?
Richard Morton, I like better than the.
Nobody's got the charisma. I don't care. That kid can't have the charisma that Ricky Morton had in the 70s and 80s. That dude got so laid, and then look at him. It looks terrible.
He's still rocking the mullet though.
He sure is. And when I say he looks terrible, I mean he looks fucking amazing. But like, because he's still wearing a mullet in 2022.
And he's like 80 years old. Or
Yeah, fuck it, man. Do your shit.
WCW offered Owen a contract. He turned it down because he did not want to move to Atlanta.
Who would?
Instead, he re-signed with the WWF.
What?
Jake DDP.
They don't live in Atlanta. They
Uh,
live in like, I don't know, some like the mansions of Georgia. I don't know if
He,
there's mansions in Georgia, but
Since the Hart Foundation broke up and Neidhart was not being
I
used,
mean the new foundation.
they put him with Owen together
Oh, okay.
to make the new foundation.
Well, Neidhart was being used, but only by a crack dealer.
He was the Bulldogs' drug mule.
I think you can get him, put him with Owen. Owen will help him not do any smack. Those vitamins
That's how
really-
Stu Hart talks.
Those vitamins.
In case
really
you're wondering
hype
what the
him up.
impression is. Jared's like, what? That's Stu Hart. That's how he talked.
Yeah.
He was always calling to get his kids jobs.
I don't think he had to call to get his kids' jobs. He had to get his in-laws, his son-in-laws' jobs, because his son-in-laws kept fucking up.
Or his daughter being portrayed as a whore on TV.
No, that was Brett Owen that got pissed off about that.
Oh, that was what Diana and Sean were supposed to be having
Yeah.
a thing, and they were like,
But-
no.
But Bulldog apparently approved all that, and then when everybody got pissed, that's when Bulldog started pulling the, oh well, I didn't do it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you were fucking fine with it when you were
I
gonna
know,
make money.
But Jim Cornette talks about like he talked to Stu about it, but he initially thought it was Owen fucking with him.
Pulling
And
a
then
prank.
Owen came walking in and he's like, because he's like, oh yeah, well I'll have Sean Bender over next week and stuff. And he's like, and then he's like,
You,
oh shit, it's really Stu.
Yeah, Sean just fuck her in the ass.
I remember people saying that Owen liked to rib people.
Oh, he was
There
the
are some
king
good
of
ones
ribs.
out there.
The new foundation's first feud with the Beverly Brothers.
Feud. Is that what we're gonna call it?
It's a banned word.
The
nowadays.
first storyline.
That's maybe better.
They made one pay-per-view appearance at Royal Rumble 92 where they beat the Orient Express.
Yep, I remember that.
I don't know which version of that. This first one?
It's fucking Max Moon.
That's the mask guy,
Yeah, Max Moon.
Kato and
Paul Diamond or whatever.
Tanaka.
No, not Kato and Tanaka. Kato and Tanaka were the original.
Although it was Sato and
Sa-
Tanaka.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kato was in. Shortly after the Rumble, Neidhart left the WWF and Owen was on his own. He wrestled at WrestleMania 8.
Left.
That's a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
He was the Rocket then.
He wrestled at WrestleMania 8 where he beat Skinner.
Skinner. Oh, wrong Skinner. Sorry.
After WrestleMania,
Simpsons reference.
Owen and Coco Beware teamed up as High Energy. They had one pay-per-view match at Survivor Series where they lost to the Head Shrinkers.
Yep.
Is that the weird pants?
That's the
So was Neidhart. So
baggy.
was New Foundation too. They were.
Coco
was
used to
weird.
pull his up like
Yeah.
Okay. Coco will
Neidhart's
also be
only-
at Legends of Hamburg.
Neidhart's only Hasbro figure
is that terrible?
is the fucking New Foundation blue and yellow with the checkers on.
No shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
They even got his roid belly in there. It looked really good.
Hope Natalia's not listening. She's not.
Coco Beware will be at
Oh, come on.
Legends.
She's like, no, my dad didn't do roids. Come the fuck on.
Yeah. Roy's is the least of his trouble.
Roids and Coke. You shoot it, you snort it, you just fucking go. And then you start stroking your beard.
In 93, they broke up the tag team. I don't remember if that, I think it's just,
They just broke them up.
I don't think it
wasn't
was a
anything.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember, and I don't know timeline wise, but didn't they have Yoko squash
Coco
Coco on Raw, and like that put him out of action?
wrote him off TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it wasn't like a breakup. It was just
Yeah.
like you're hurt. I'm going to do my own thing.
Well, not your hurt. No. I think it was kayfabe hurt, but I think it was like, all right, I don't really see this going anywhere. So let's just get
And
him off TV.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like you were saying, though, like, since he's away, like, oh, we'll just
Yeah, but
stay
it wasn't
doing my
like-
thing.
Like
yeah.
a Rockers breakup. It wasn't
But
ugly.
even
It was
still,
just-
until Survivor Series, Owen didn't really do anything. Didn't the biggest thing he did between breaking up with Coco and Survivor Series, where him and Brett start their thing, is he gets attacked during an interview for the build for Brett and Razor Ramon, and he gets attacked from the front while looking in the direction
so he literally
in
saw it
which
coming.
he would have seen it coming. Again, not the greatest promo or even segment, people. The Hearts are not very good at this. I mean, how many times have we seen the Brett watching the TV off the fucking side of his head? He doesn't even look at it.
They're like the opposite of then the bell rang.
Yeah, right. It's like these guys have nothing, and then the bell
And they're
rang.
like, oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah. He suffered a knee injury in March of 93 in a match against Bam Bam Bigelow, which kept him out for 2 months.
And then he gets
I
attacked
think,
by Razor Ramon.
yeah, I think that's when he got attacked by
That wrote him off
Razor.
TV.
Yeah.
In 93, he came back in the middle of Brett's feud with Lawler.
Oh yeah, that's right. Him and Bruce were ringside at SummerSlam when it's Brett and Doink because
Yeah.
Lawler's hurt, and then so he throws the confetti at Owen, and then the next bucket you think is going to be confetti, but it's water, and he hits Bruce with the water, and Bruce just has to stay there wet the whole time. Apparently, that was a rib by Owen. Owen said to do that.
Yeah, because Bruce didn't know about it.
Bruce had
Not
no
Bruce
fucking
Pritchard,
clue.
Bruce
yeah,
Hart.
oh yeah, Bruce Hart.
Yeah, no, the first bucket of confetti he threw at kids in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one, but
then-
And
it
Bruce
got
Hart didn't know it was coming.
so-
he was
wet,
legit
and he was
pissed.
so pissed that at the like post match beat up, he actually threw himself on Lawler just to hit someone. 'Cause he's a fucking prick.
I said Owen helped Brett in his feud. Like you said, they would go down to USWA
Mhm.
and be the heels. He won the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship from Papa Shango in the USWA. So 2 WF guys.
Yep. Well, that's how you did it then.
He suffered a knee injury,
But Papa Shango wasn't in WWF at the time. I think he was
but
training.
he was still
down.
under contract. He was a WWF
Yeah,
guy.
he would have been there. 93. Yeah, Papa Shot was there. Remember, his run-in was with Hogan in 92.
Was it?
SummerSlam.
Yeah, the
When he was
the
late?
run-in he missed
He
was
his
in
cue.
92. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was there. He wasn't being featured probably at that point. Because after the Warrior thing kind of went south, I don't think they really featured him with anything anymore.
That
Well,
was
he
his-
had a match with Brett, though, when Brett was champion.
Well, I know Lawler said too that they use Navis as like a training thing, like if to help rehab guys and stuff. if they
yeah, that's
had
another- yeah, he
injuries and
probably
stuff
was,
like
yeah.
that.
because there's no internet. They're not on TV.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like maybe that's what it was.
Owen came back in 93 to help Brett in his feud with Jerry. And it said Owen, Brett, Bruce, and Keith were supposed to go against Lawler and his Knights.
But then he raped a little girl, allegedly.
Lawler was unable to make the show. That's what it says.
Hmm.
Gee, I wonder why. Wasn't she like 13 or something?
I
Like,
don't know. Allegedly.
to be fair, yeah, he was never
Allegedly.
convicted,
Allegedly.
Still one of the best autographs.
but because it was hot, Vince said, "You've just got to go away
Yeah.
for a little while."
Same with Enzo.
But let's bring back drug addict Shawn Michaels.
So, for no apparent reason, Sean has a team of knights. Which was what, Valentine?
It was supposed to be Valentine, Snuka, and Terry Funk. It ended up being
But Terry Funk's horse was sick.
Terry Funk's horse got sick. Snuka murdered somebody
Snooker was
back
probably
in the
killing
day.
somebody. Yeah.
So it ended up being Greg Valentine,
Barry Horowitz.
and
Jeff
Jeff
Gaylord.
Gaylord, who was Super Colossus or something like that in USWA.
It was like his only WWE appearance.
Yeah, but originally it was supposed to be nobody. Kane,
Oh,
Glenn
yeah.
Jacobs, but he was too greener than Jeff Gaylord. But
He
yeah,
was the Unabomber then, wasn't he?
I don't even know if he was,
Was he
that.
that?
yet.
No.
So
It's
this wasn't
early.
Isaac Yankem.
No, he still
No.
got like 2 years for that. This is
That
93.
Brett
That's in
Lawler feud went
95.
that long.
Yeah, well, because he went away for rape allegations.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, we had to act like it never happened. Like, wasn't
Yeah.
he gone for 6 months?
Yeah, because even like the year between him coming in and attacking Brett, the next year he's back for King of the Ring, but he's wrestling Piper, and then they do the feud again, like him and Lawler, because the Kiss My Foot match is still to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
And then
94.
Lawler brought in Yankum and he brought in Hakushi. Like, he brought in. Did he
Lawler
bring in
brought
Hakushi
No, I don't think
to
so.
go after Brett? I thought it was like
No, Kushi was already there.
Yeah,
the only person eliminated from Brett's team was Owen.
Oh. After he collided with Brett.
it's still. You know
Yes.
what though? I don't. This is still one of the best storylines ever.
Oh,
It's a
hell yeah.
slow burn.
Sometimes WWE gets things completely wrong, but when they get something right, Jesus, they fucking get it right.
And remember, Bruce.
It was supposed to be Bruce.
Bruce pushed hard to be the one who turned on Brett.
Who would have
And
fucking
Vince was like,
cared?
nobody knows who you are.
Vince was for it.
Oh, Brett.
Brett said, "Hey, it'd be better if we did this with Owen."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we already have that one signed, so sure, let's do it with that one.
Yeah. And Bruce, nobody knows who you are.
Well, and Vince didn't think this would go anywhere for whoever. He saw this as something for Brett to do while he doesn't have the belt.
Like
Until
a
he-
placeholder feud
Exactly.
until
He didn't think this would go anywhere, no matter who did it. Whether it was Bruce, it was throwaway. Bruce or Owen, don't care. Get one of them in here, and we'll fucking do it. Not knowing that Owen is going to be the fucking greatest little brother prick ever, and it's the little shit he did.
and I
Well,
like
well,
it wasn't
I
an
thought-
immediate turn. Like, he didn't turn on him at Survivor
He
Series.
did, yes, he did. But then they got back together.
They worked it out.
Yeah,
Became a
because he
tag
did.
team.
He hurt him. He kicked him.
Well, it said when they were all celebrating, Owen came back
Yeah,
and like pushed
he,
Brett.
He pulled him off the ropes.
Yeah.
And then he was
Pushed
yelling at him and shit.
And that was
yeah.
like, I got eliminated because of you.
Yeah.
But I thought initially like Vince wasn't for it because he's like, brothers don't fight, and everybody had to convince like,
Yeah.
no, Vince,
That's Vince's
brothers do
famous line.
fight.
Yeah.
Brothers don't fight.
Was Owen Hart ever a face?
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole
Yeah.
time.
He's face his whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Blue Blazers face.
Because I remember.
And then
him
when
as a
Blackheart-
heel.
High Energy's face.
Yeah. And then when Blackheart starts, he's technically a face.
Because I remember him as a heel.
That he's turning.
Because
That's what
he's
this
only
is.
fucking good as a heel because he is a heel. He's a as a person, he's phenomenal. But like to the boys, he's a heel because he fucks with everybody. He's everybody's little brother. But he's just he did it so perfectly. Okay, so
But I mean,
let you keep
but it
going.
wasn't like a full turn. It was just planting the seeds.
right because
like he
it was
pushed
a
him.
Survivor Series, and then they come on TV and they say, "Well, over the holidays we patched things up, and yeah, we had a little bit of a spat, but we talked about it over the holidays." And Owen says the greatest little shit. Like it doesn't matter if what I said was true or not. Like, so you're not saying that
He's
it's
like-
not true
like
and that you're
MJF
sorry. You're
before
just
MJF.
saying that it is true, but it doesn't matter if it's true. And he says little shit like 1994 is going to be the year of the rocket, and Brett's gonna, or the Hitman's gonna hitch his wagon to the rocket. And it's like, you little fucking prick. And then he does this thing to his jaw where he just like kind of clips it a little bit, like just like fuck you, you little prick.
So Owen basically
Perfect.
said, like, I still don't like you, Brett, and I think you're
Yeah.
a dick, but we'll team up.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but I still don't like you.
We're gonna focus our thing on taking the tag team
But the-
titles from the Quebec.
And the whole thing is I'm gonna use you. The laying of the foundation is I'm gonna use you and surpass you. I'm going to be better than you in 1994, but we're going to start with the tag belts, but I'm going to be the star of this tag team, and you're going to be hitched behind me. And this is when he officially starts wearing
which people
the
did
black
pick
and
up on.
pink, because prior to Survivor Series, he's wearing blue still. He's still wearing the blue blazer shit, but he's not.
Doesn't have the mask and the
He
cape.
doesn't have the mask and cape and the straps, because Blue Blazer had the full thing.
But he still has the pants.
He only had the tights. Yeah. But like when he was wrestling in USWA, he was wearing pretty much Blue Blazer shit, but without the mask.
Him and Brett faced the Quebecers
Yes,
at
they
Royal
did.
Rumble 94, which is Jacques and
They're not the Mountains.
PCO now.
Yep. The pirate guy.
Yeah, the patch. What was it? Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Or
Jean-Pierre Lafayette.
Yeah. This is when Brett hurt his knee and he didn't tag in Owen.
Just tag me. All you had to do was tag me. But you're selfish. You're selfish, Brett.
And they lost.
Fucking perfect.
That's when Owen kicked his knee out from under his knee.
Owen wrong? Was Owen wrong in the feud? All Brett had to do was tag him.
No,
but
he
was
wasn't.
too selfish.
Because during this match, many times Brett could have tagged and he didn't.
So the first part that hurts his knee is he gets clipped off the apron into the guardrail by Owen by accident, which it is. And then they keep working on his leg. He gets the upper hand, starts going for the sharpshooter when he could have tagged Owen Hart. But he wanted to be in the spotlight and get this title, which, by the way, got to say this, my favorite Brett gear, Royal Rumble 93. Four.
And I don't think Owen didn't get in that match at all, did he?
No, he did.
No, he was in for a little bit, but like when
Not towards the end.
Brett.
Brett went for the sharpshooter, his leg gave out, he got
And then
pinned, and then
No, he didn't get pinned. I think the ref calls it. He
Oh,
doesn't get
yeah,
pinned.
that's right.
Yeah, Brett
Ref
couldn't continue.
the ref calls it. So technically they don't lose, but they also don't win. And that's when he kicks his leg out of his leg. And that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg.
He kicked his leg out. That's great.
It's so great that because you can literally pinpoint the moment he realizes he's too far in, but what I'm about to say is fucking dumb. That's why I kicked your leg out of your leg. It's like he knew.
That's what happens when it's live.
Yes,
You just got
exactly. He knew what he was saying as he was saying it was stupid.
like the way Sid with every interview he ever did. Can we do that again? Oh no, we're live.
that attire is that the paint splatter.
It is the paint splatter. I fucking love it. It's my favorite Brett attire.
Owen left and he's on the Titantron talking shit to Brett as Brett is limping to the back.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the way, again, Kevin Dunn, supposedly a fucking prick, but when you shoot that shit, he was shooting right behind Brett's shoulder. So you can almost see the POV of what Brett is seeing on the screen of Owen talking down to him because Owen's on the big screen. He's hobbling.
Actually, I think the camera was behind Brett.
Yeah, behind the shoulder. That's what I'm
so
saying.
you could
POV.
see.
Yeah, you're POV. You see what Brett's seeing.
So
You're
Brett's
following his
limping
shoulder.
and he looks up and there's his brother
Yeah.
running his mouth.
And at that same Rumble though, didn't they both wrestle in the Rumble?
No, Owen was not in it, but Brett. So that's the one where it's like 25 and no one comes out. And Vince is like, oh, that was Bret Hart. He must not be making it. And then here was actually Bastion Booger. Then like 27 comes and boom, there's Brett.
Brett limping.
And then he fucking sort of wins it.
Oh, because I could have swore they both were in it, and
No, Owen wasn't in it. Brett was at the end.
or what was it? Maybe next year, because I know Brett came out
Next
and
year is the
attacked
one.
him.
Next year is the one where Owen. Yes. So Owen gets eliminated and the camera completely misses it because
But on his way to
That's
the ring.
Steven Dunn's pop.
That's the fake Marty Jannetty pop.
Yeah, but I could have swore on the way to the ring, Brett jumped Owen.
No,
And then when he got in, he
because
ended up
no,
getting
because
eliminated.
because at this point Brett was still saying, "I will never fight my brother under no
Yeah.
circumstances."
Didn't Owen attack him?
Yeah. Owen will eventually attack him, but at this point, Brett is still saying, "No, no matter what, I'm not fighting my brother." So he went and attacked him at the Royal Rumble.
They finally face off for the first time. and probably the greatest opening match of WrestleMania history.
Oh hell yeah!
Not only that, but probably one of the greatest matches of history of WrestleMania history.
And as Justin will tell you, you always want to wrestle your best friend
Yep.
or your
It's always
brother,
the best
because they're going to give
two
you.
guys on this card got to wrestle their best friend and or brothers. They're brothers. Let's just say that. I mean, you had Shawn and Razor, and you had Brett and Owen, and they're two matches that are synonymous with fucking
That's
WrestleMania.
literally like nobody. Who was the main event in WrestleMania that year? 10.
Yeah,
Is that
that's what you pay for. So I would have paid for Bam Bam and Luna versus
Doink
Doink
and-
and Dink. Or Quebecers versus Men on a Mission.
Oh yeah, classic. Owen pinned Brett, but later that night,
Clean.
Brett won the
Well,
championship.
I mean, it was a roll up, but it is clean. Yes.
Yeah, no Gaga, no interference.
Yeah.
And grab the ropes.
But
off
then
Yeah.
Brett wins the belt that night later.
And the perfect, even to culminate even more, to add to this fucking fire of a storyline. Owen comes out and the camera pans to him and he's just looking at Brett saying, "What about me? Why is everybody celebrating Brett? I won too. Why not me?" It's perfect because it's like, you're not fucking wrong. You're not a heel. You're just a little brother who is overshadowed by his big brother.
And then everybody like Macho and Razor
Yeah,
were all trying to
Macho's
wave him
like,
in,
"Come
come
on.
on.
Come on, you want to come in? Come on."
I mean, and if you look at it from Owen's point of view, Owen's like, I beat this guy earlier.
Yep.
And,
And
now
now you're
all
champion.
anyone's going to remember
Yep.
is that he's wins the belt. Like,
What about
I'm
me?
forgotten about again.
Fucking perfect. And then what's the next step of the storyline? King of the Ring.
Owen wins the 1994
I'm-
King of the Ring tournament.
I'm going to do what you did 1 year prior.
But do it better.
Mhm.
In his mind.
He beat
Yeah.
Razor Ramon in the finals.
He did, who Brett beat in
With-
the not the finals of the year before, but the opener.
Was it?
Yeah.
Neidhart helped him win.
Brett beat Razor. Perfect. Bam.
Bam Bam. Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he
Well,
won.
He
Back
won
to back.
93.
Yeah.
No.
The first pay-per-view,
Okay,
93.
yeah.
He beat Razor, Perfect, and Bam Bam.
And that's when Lawler attacked him.
Yes.
Started that 2-year-long feud.
Yeah.
After winning the King of the Ring, he changed his nickname from the Rocket to the King of Hearts.
From this day forward, I will be known as the King of Hearts.
Was that the crown didn't fit him? Was that him? Who was the one where the crown was too big and it like wouldn't stay on his head? It was like lopsided. Was that him or was that was somebody else maybe?
I don't know.
I remember him putting it on, but like wouldn't stay on because it was too big for his head.
Oh,
Or
Brett's
something.
looks stupid. But
Yeah, Brett's was like lopsided too.
yeah, Brett's was way too big. So there's that one.
Owen and Brett feuded throughout the summer of '94.
SummerSlam had a cage match that was pretty good. That had all the Hart brothers come in, and that's where Neidhart hitting Bulldog and Diana over the railing pissed off Brett and Owen. They did not want that to happen. And Bulldog was like, "Oh, that'll be cool if we do this." So he just grabbed her while he was going over and just went over with her.
Steel cage match at SummerSlam.
And this is Bulldog's return. Technically, he's not wrestling at this point. He's just in the crowd.
Yeah. Him and Neidhart. Neidhart was behind
Well,
him.
no, Neidhart was Neidhart was in the crowd, but Neidhart was back as Owen's
Neidhart was
manager.
under contract.
Yeah, manager / bodyguard, whatever you want to call it. He came back at King of the Ring and helped him.
And he was sort of Owen's like, yeah, I'm with you, man. Brett
Yeah.
does suck. When I was his partner, he did the same shit to me. Let's
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
The steel cage match at SummerSlam, which Brett won, got a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer.
bullshit. It's not that good. All they do, here's the thing. You have this feud. These guys fucking hate each other now. They just want to beat the shit. I want to lock you in a cage and I want to punch you in the face.
Which we said before, a cage match should be the end of your feud.
Yes.
That's not your first match. This should
And-
be
But this whole thing is they're both trying to escape. I can understand Owen trying to escape. I just want to beat you. I want to have a W next to my name in this match.
and take your belt. I want to win.
Yeah. And Brett wants to kick your ass. But both of them are trying for the out each time.
Yeah.
So I don't really like that.
Then there's a lumberjack match on Raw.
That's the one where Owen technically wins and technically wins the world title.
Owen won and was announced as
And
the new
all-
champion.
All the pictures you see that are like, why the fuck does Owen have the winged eagle? It's because of this match
And it was ordered to continue due to interference.
in a lumberjack match.
think about that for a second.
Dumb.
That's like a Hell in a Cell ending in no contest.
Or DQ in a fatal four way. Like
Damn it, that's right. They did do that.
at Survivor Series of that year, as Bret Hart was wrestling Bob Backlund, Owen convinced his mom to throw in the towel.
It was so good.
Yeah, because
Pleads with it.
Owen was
Owen attacked
Backlund's
Bull-
second.
Yes.
Yes.
And who's the perfect second? I have no connection to you. Bulldog was Brett's guy with the towel. And okay, Bulldog loves Brett. Everybody loves Brett. So when Brett gets in trouble, I'm going to throw in the towel. But Owen doesn't give a fuck about Backlund. He gives a fuck about Brett. So why would he throw in the towel for this guy?
Yeah.
He's never going to throw in the towel for Bob Backlund.
No. He used
Ever.
Bob Backlund
Yeah.
to get to Brett.
Right.
And then, remember Brett's mom was crying.
Yeah. Well, no, Owen was crying. Owen was he took out Bulldog, and then Brett was in the
Cross-faced chicken wing. Yeah.
chicken wing for like what felt like 6 hours.
And then Owen was supposed to have realized the error of
It was
his
like,
ways because his brother.
"Please, it's my brother. He's hurting. He's gonna hurt him." And then once they throw it, he just starts
Like-
jumping like, "Fuck yeah, yeah!"
I got you. I got you.
And then he doesn't give a fuck. He just leaves. Fuck everything. He lost. I don't give a shit. I'm out. Perfect.
And then
one
what,
night
a week
later,
later, in 8 seconds.
Not even a week. No, it's the next night. So that was on Thursday. That was the last time they did it on Thanksgiving. And then Saturday at
Madison
Oh,
Square
but Saturday
Garden.
or
Square
Sunday, I
Garden,
know it was
At a
fucking
house show.
Yeah.
Diesel.
That
8
match was
seconds,
literally
like, ding,
bell
ding,
rings,
Jack
Bell
kick in
rings,
the
over
stomach,
8
jackknife,
seconds.
boom.
It took longer to get to the ring than the match.
the longest world champion versus the shortest world champion.
Owen also interfered at the Royal Rumble 1995 in Brett's match against Diesel.
Oh, well, yeah, so does like Sean and Jeff Jarrett
Yeah.
for some reason.
Oh, there's a lot of
Yeah.
shit going on.
That was actually a pretty good match.
Their feud continued with Brett winning usually mostly all the time. After the feud ran its
Now,
course, Owen
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Because I could have swore, like, we'll
Yeah,
have,
they
I'll
run
have
it-
to rewatch it, but
Yeah, they do a run
I think Owen had interfered, and then when he was supposed to be in the Rumble, Brett jumped him in the aisleway, and
No,
then
because
when
Brett
Owen
was
got
hurt. Brett
in,
wouldn't have jumped him because Brett was already hurt. He was just trying to get
But-
in.
there is that
yeah, you know
Brett
what I'm
does
talking.
attack him because then Owen goes in and goes out right away.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know,
But I
I
don't
think
know
like
which
Lawler
year
or
that
somebody
It
was
wouldn't
like,
have been that
yeah.
year.
like, oh, that's,
but it
you
would have
know,
made sense for it to be the year of the Diesel match because now I'm still like I'm not hurt. I'm still like fresh, but you just fucked me over for winning the belt.
right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what,
that would be the one.
That's what. But that's when
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I was 95 then.
So that
It
feud,
all runs together.
I know.
which technically the feud didn't end because they still
It
were
never really ended.
No, really.
not until Hart Foundation later.
You don't know that. Maybe Owen was trying to.
That's
Maybe
true.
Owen was the
From the-
reason for the school
From the
screw job.
inside,
Maybe he was the one who actually planted the seeds for the screw job. He said, "Brett, you're not fucking dropping that belt in Calgary. Fuck that." And then he went to Sean. He's like, "This guy ain't gonna fucking drop this belt in Calgary. So you got to do whatever you got to do to get that belt off him." It's the real conspiracy.
There
It was
you go.
Owen Hart the whole time, and that's why they killed him because
Oh my
he
gosh, here we go.
he would have talked.
He knew too much.
I might have just uncovered something. If I die this week,
He was the one on the phone with Vince, like, he ain't gonna do. Well, why don't you just fuck him then?
Oh, they screwed him.
and then
Hold on, they screwed
and
him.
then
They
Stu got on the
fucked
phone. Yeah, just bend him over and fuck him in his ass.
After Owen's
Stick
feud
your
with
thumb up his
Brett.
butt. Make him squeal like a
at
pig.
WrestleMania 11, Owen and a mystery partner
Yokozuna.
beat the Smoking Guns for the tag titles. Turned out to be Yokozuna. After this, Owen and took Jim Cornette, Mr. Fuji as his managers.
Which so Camp Cornette, even though for some reason they technically started feuding with Sean and Luger before that, Camp Cornette was actually based on all of Brett's feuds. It's Bulldog,
Owen
it's Owen, and it's Yoko.
and then Vader.
Well, that comes later.
Yeah.
But its start happened off of Bret Hart's feuds.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
That's so like Heenan's family was always people who after Hogan.
Yeah.
They held the belts for 5 months till they lost them to Shawn and Diesel at In Your House 3.
2 dudes with attitudes.
They briefly
Worst
held the
name.
belts a second time when the belts were handed to them. Doesn't say why.
Okay.
Before the Smoking Guns beat them to get him back.
I think that's when Shawn and Diesel had broke up because that's when he had super kicked him.
No.
And they just-
2 dudes with attitudes would have been after this because WrestleMania 11, them winning it was Shawn and Diesel. The super kick happened at the Survivor Series previous to this, and then him helping. Oh no, the elimination would have happened in the Royal Rumble before that. Yeah, he wouldn't have super kicked him. Shawn after 11 is face. 2 dudes with attitude is Shawn about to win the belt and be face.
Okay.
Because 12 he wins the belt.
Yeah, I remember that.
95, Davey Boy turned heel and joined Camp Cornette with Owen.
Yeah, and so he was supposed to turn on Lex, but this is when Lex leaves for Nitro, well, for WCW. So he ended up for no reason turning on Diesel. They just put him together in a match with it was like Yoko and King Mabel versus Diesel and Bulldog, and Bulldog turned on him for no reason.
Yeah,
It made no sense, but it's because it was supposed to be Luger, which would have made sense.
Yeah, because they were a team.
Yeah, they were Allied Powers.
Yeah. WrestleMania moment number 1062. Allied Powers versus Harris Brothers or Blue Brothers.
Yeah, whatever. Creative Control.
Yeah.
He won a Slammy Award for injuring Shawn Michaels.
Hey, that was a good dude. I was like,
Why?
I don't know, 9 or 8 when that happened. I thought that
That's
was
like
real.
96 or so.
Okay, so I was like 7.
Why is there an award for?
I don't know.
He was a commentator for the 96 King of the Ring.
I don't remember that, but that's the one that
He had a cast on his right forearm.
Is that
for
Hunter?
6 years. No, that's
Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Hunter was the year after.
It should have been Hunter, yeah.
In September of 96, Bulldog and Hart had a tag team title shot at In Your House 10.
Oh no, not wait. Oh yeah. Mabel is 95. Sorry, yes, okay.
Which they beat the Smoking Guns to win the belts.
Pew pew.
And they left with Clarence Mason as their manager
Oh, I remember that.
because he
And then
bought the
they
contracts
eventually
out.
started feuding with
Cornette.
Philip and or Furnace and
First of
Vaughn,
the Fawn, yeah.
who we just talked about privately. Team Canada, British Bulldog, Jim Neidhart, LaFawn, and Furnace. Only one is Canadian. One's British, one is from Vegas,
One's an American, yeah.
and one's from Oklahoma.
Hmm.
The only reason I know that Furnace is from Oklahoma is because fucking JR puts him over.
Owen and Bulldog started to sort of feud. Says Owen eliminated Bulldog from the Rumble. They had miscommunication in their matches with Furnace and LaFawn.
Mm-hmm.
Bulldog fired Mason as their manager,
And then he went on.
but
to,
Owen was still managed by Mason.
But then he ended up going to Nation of Domination.
Yeah. What finally broke them up was they were the finals of the European Championship tournament,
Mm-hmm.
which Bulldog won. Owen demanded a match versus Bulldog for the next week of Raw. And during their match, Brett came out and talked to them and said, we're all family. Let's
all have some sunny days.
This is what the people want.
Yeah.
Hell with them.
This is when the Hart Foundation was formed.
Yeah, let's all fuck Sunny. Oh, it's not
Hasn't everybody?
That wasn't the.
After
was-
joining the Hart Foundation, Owen won his first singles belt when he beat Rocky Maivia for the Intercontinental Championship.
He beat Rocky Maivia for it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
This
On
meant
Raw.
that the Hart Foundation held.
That means that on Young Rock we might get Owen Hart soon because they're around that time. They just did the episode. I don't watch it, but I've been kind of
I
keeping
do.
up with it online, and they just did the guy that plays Austin looks like he looks more like Austin than Austin,
Oh, really?
and the guy that plays Dude looks just like him
Oh.
because they're at the King of the Ring. That's the only reason.
Cole Cabana played Brooklyn Brawler.
Who the fuck cares about Brooklyn Brawler? We got to do.
But he looks like it.
I'm Doc Hendricks.
Upon
You're gonna buy this merchandise because you ain't gonna you're gonna buy it from me because I main evented the Madison Square Garden when I was -4 years old. My mom didn't even think she could have kids, and I was main eventing the Madison Square Garden.
okay.
I main evented it when my mom was 7 years old.
When Owen won the Intercontinental belt, it meant every member of the Hart Foundation held a title except for the WWF heavyweight.
Wait, what the fuck was Night? Oh, not at the time.
Yes.
Because I was gonna say,
At
what
the
belt
time, they had all the belts except for the world. When Owen won the Intercontinental,
what belt did Neidhart have?
meant that the Hart Foundation held every
Fucking
WWF title
crack-smoking world
except the
championship?
WWF. So I don't.
So Owen had the IC.
Oh wait.
Bulldog had the European.
I'm sorry. So you're not saying that every member had a belt. You're saying they held every belt.
Every member had a belt other
Right.
than the world.
I said
Well,
this
what
meant
belt did fucking
that the Hart
Neidhart have?
Foundation held every WWE title except the WWE Championship.
Okay, so that's different. They held the belts, but not all of the members had a belt. So Neidhart didn't have a belt.
Well, they couldn't because even if it was
Right. Yeah.
Intercontinental, European, and tag, there'd still be one person without anything.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 belts and there's 5 guys.
There's a light heavyweight.
Hardcore, light heavyweight.
Oh, there's no hardcore yet. Light heavyweight. Brian Christopher and Taka Michinoku are about to have some good matches.
That no one cares about.
You know, that's funny that like the first person I think of as light heavyweight is Brian Christopher, and he never held the belt. Ain't that some shit?
I think of D'Lo.
He was
Or not
light
D'Lo,
heavyweight.
no, Dean Malenko.
Okay, I was gonna say
European is Dean Malenko. Or fuck, D'Lo. God damn it.
Owen and Bulldog lost the tag titles to Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels.
that's sort of.
Owen started feuding with Austin.
And then he broke his neck out of his neck.
Owen and Bulldog got a rematch against Austin and Shawn, but Shawn was hurt, so Austin had a mystery opponent, a mystery partner. SummerSlam, Owen versus Austin in a kiss my ass match. That's
why Brett. That's why Austin had to win that match because he was not going to kiss Owen's ass.
No, that would have ruined his
So
whole
that's why
badass.
they had
Yeah,
the
that was it.
terrible roll.
Owen
Worst.
kept the belt. Stone Cold would have to kiss his ass. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
That's why they had to do the terrible roll.
That's when Owen did that botched pile driver. Instead of landing on his ass, he went on his knees, wasn't it?
No,
No,
he
it
landed
was a
on
sit
his
out.
knees.
It was a sit out.
Yeah,
It was a pile driver.
it was a pile driver.
But he had him hooked like a
He
tombstone.
was just too far down.
Oh no, they were going to do a tombstone, and he said, "I go to my ass," and Austin was like, "You're supposed to go to your knees for one like that." And he's like,
Yeah, they never did. They each blamed each other. I don't think they really.
They never till his dying day. They never really made up. Austin never forgave him. It's just terrible, and that's probably I bet you that weighs heavily on him. It makes me think like fucking.
"Well, I know
just
Stone
squash
Cold
your
said
shit.
like he never Owen never reached out, but that was
Yeah.
Brett told Owen like." Give him a little time to cool off. Like he's hot right now.
Yeah,
He's
that's what
probably not going to.
Owen was told by the boys.
But even if you don't accept the apology, in 3 days when you're cool, you'll be like, he tried to do right.
I wonder. Jeff Jarrett was just on Austin's podcast.
Not
Or
podcast
show. I wonder if they mentioned Owen.
Maybe, but I think they're going to talk more about they had their own heat, dude. Like Austin was legitimately pissed at Jeff because Jeff tried to he felt that Jeff tried to take money out of his pocket by going on TV and saying that Austin 316 is blasphemy. He's like, whoa, that shirt is my fucking money. Shut the fuck up. And because there had been instances when Austin worked for Jarrett, that
Well, you know, chicken
but
salad.
apparently Austin was looking at his check and thinking, what the fuck is this? And Jeff came around the corner and said, you can keep staring at it. It ain't going to get any bigger. And Austin's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm living in my car eating warmed up potatoes from the engine, and you're living on the mansion on the hill that we can all see from town. And you're telling me about my check? Fuck you. Daddy's mansion, by the way, not yours.
After the incident, Owen began wearing a shirt that said Owen 316. I just broke your neck.
God.
I love that though.
Imagine how much that shirt would be worth if you could find that somewhere. They did a tour for the Intercontinental since Austin had to relinquish it.
Mhm.
Owen got to the finals versus Farouk at Bad Blood.
Hmm.
What a weird. Aren't they both heel?
Yeah.
Nation. Yeah.
Owen won because Austin helped him. And Austin said he wants to take the belt off
Yeah.
Owen.
Which, looking back, Austin's neck breaking was the greatest thing that ever happened to Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Because, like we say every fucking week with all of this shit, it kept him off TV. It kept him off wrestling. But he would show up every now and then. He would cut a promo. He'd get in somebody's face.
Interfere in a match or something.
Yeah. It started his anti-establishment.
So he wasn't
You're not
forgotten. He just was.
It's your fault that I'm not wrestling. You're the one saying that I can't wrestle. I'm saying I feel fine. You are keeping me off TV. Sergeant Slaughter, Pat Patterson, Vince McMahon. You're keeping me off TV.
Yeah,
I like
the
that.
whole thing that started with Vince because he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're looking out for you," and that's
Yeah.
like, that was the first time he stunnered him.
Yeah.
At Survivor Series 97, Austin beat
Gang warfare.
Austin beat Owen for the Intercontinental Championship.
That was, you don't remember that?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
the tagline for that?
And then the screw job, of course, which could be another whole episode. Bulldog and Neidhart left to go to WCW, where they made millions of dollars and did diddly squat.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw Neidhart on TV.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he
they
took a
went
bump.
to
Oh, well, that was,
WCW.
yeah.
He
They
wrestled
were
like maybe
tagged.
a small handful of times, but yeah.
And to Vince's credit, Vince let them go. He could have said, "No, you are under contract to me.
Yeah.
You will stay." But instead, he said, "Go." Like he always said, if you're not happy, go.
Well, so go smoke crack in their company.
Except for Owen. He didn't let Owen go.
No, Owen didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Owen was this is where I make my money for my family.
And I thought I read in the book that Vince sat with Owen and said, "This is your chance to get out of his shadow.
But he never really did.
Now he's not here. It can be your show now."
And he should have.
But then
feud
Vince
with
keeps
him
him in the mid card.
The feud with
Yeah.
him and Sean should have been fucking fire. WrestleMania 13, as much as I love Austin versus Sean, WrestleMania 13 should have been Owen versus Sean.
Yeah, because you could have did the storyline. You chased my brother out of here. Now,
I would have taken the belt off Sean,
Owen's your face.
have Brett have Austin versus someone else.
14 was Austin Sean.
Sorry, 13 was
Taker, Sid.
Fuck. Try to forget
Terrible.
that one.
Terrible match.
13 was
Was Brett and Austin.
Yeah.
That's the bloody
Yeah.
where he passed
That's
out.
the
where-
real main
with the
event.
Sharpshooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good match. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I think that they should have taken the belt off Sean, Austin versus someone else, and had Owen versus Sean as another main event.
And you could have even did like they're doing now with Wardlow and MJF. Keep them apart.
Mhm.
Let Sean be running. Let
Yeah.
Sean, Owen come to the ring. Sean,
China gets in his way. Hunter gets in his way.
yeah, like we've been saying. And then
Mhm.
finally at Mania, you're like, oh, he's finally going to get a hold of this asshole. Like, yeah.
Should have taken the belt off Sean. Put it on Taker. He could have done. Well, I know Taker was in his thing with Kane. Fucking put it on Farouk. Who cares?
Owen was not mentioned or seen on TV after the screw job for 6 months.
Way too
I
long.
didn't think it was,
No, I know it was that long. I remember it being that long.
but that was like planned. I think Vince said, take some time.
yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Let's let this die down.
For as much time as WCW took to put Brett on TV,
Yeah.
Brett was fine. He could have showed up at Nitro the next night.
He could have pulled a Luger.
And they held him off
And then he
until
finally,
January.
and he's a referee in a match. Dumbasses.
It's the hottest thing in wrestling.
Literally
Hold him.
everyone is talking about it.
You cool him down.
what they could have did too was when Vince is doing that whole Brett screwed Brett thing. That's when you could have had Owen kick in the door and like grab a hold of him. No, Brett didn't screw Brett.
Yeah.
You screwed Brett. You screwed my brother.
I think they didn't
Yeah.
want to acknowledge it at the time. They didn't. I don't think they thought they knew it was going to be this hot. I think they thought that they could keep it under wraps. I think they really did think
Vince, that was when Vince still believed in kayfabe.
Yeah.
And we weren't supposed to know what was real.
Yeah, he hadn't cut his fucking entertainment promo yet. The pastimes of good and bad guys is passe. Frankly, we think you as a fan are tired of having your intelligence. You are fucking belittling me with your bullshit 3 hours every week. I'm supposed to think that Elias isn't Ezekiel or Ezekiel isn't Elias or he's not the Ultimate Warrior or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Sean and Shamrock wrestled at In Your House, D-Generation X. After the match, Owen attacked Sean.
God, I remember that.
And he became known as the Black Heart.
That's when he's like the Black Heart still beating thing.
There's some stuff trying to skip.
Like what?
I'm just trying, because we're already an hour into it. I figured
Who cares?
It's
Someone, he
Owen
deserves
Hart.
it.
he had a feud with DX, challenged Sean for
Sort
the
of.
championship
Yeah.
on Raw.
Yeah, on Raw.
He had Michaels in the sharpshooter when Triple H interfered.
That's it. That was the last.
That was his sniff of the main
That
event.
was his last big thing.
He won a European title from Triple H, but not really because Triple H tried to say he was hurt and sent Goldust. And Owen beat Goldust. And Hunter tried to say, well, he didn't beat me. And then Christopher Slaughter said, but he wrestled on your behalf, so you lost the belt. He suffered a kayfabe ankle injury during a match against Barry Windham.
This would have been like NWA.
Random.
The bring back the revival of the NWA.
That's not new Blackjacks?
No, not that late.
What are we into? 98?
Yeah, we're like new NWA. Jeff Jarrett. They changed the Godwins to Southern Comfort. Southern Justice.
Southern Comfort, yeah. Sorry, Wyndham left and came back so many damn times.
He really did. I mean, to his credit, he did something different every time. He was the beautiful babyface U.S. Express. Then he was the
Stalker.
no.
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker. Then the Stalker was kind of the same fucking thing, but different name.
But
and then he was a Blackjack, and then he was just Barry Windham.
Yeah. But what Bruce Prichard said was, not to get off, but they didn't get the best version of Barry Windham. They got broken down, injured.
No, they did have the best version of Barry Windham. They just didn't let him do singles. Him and Rotunda. Him and Rotunda weren't gonna be it. With fucking Bulldogs, Hearts.
Yeah. Well, Beefcake and Valentine at the time.
They weren't gonna get US Express wasn't gonna do anything anymore.
Yeah.
That white meat baby face ain't cutting it.
After WrestleMania, during a tag match with Ken Shamrock against Mark Henry and Rocky Maivia,
Nation.
Owen turned on Shamrock, snapping his ankle.
Oh, is that when we start getting those fucking Lions Den matches?
Biting his ear. Became a heel once again.
He's a heel.
After attacking Shamrock, Owen joined the Nation of Domination.
For some fucking reason.
Yeah.
He claimed that enough is enough and it's time for a change.
Enough is enough.
That's what he had, that caution tape or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
What was
Somebody should have had caution tape in the rafters at some point.
What was the tie-in? That's terrible.
Yeah, there was no. I tried to ignore it and move on.
What was the tie-in?
There was
with the
no
Nation?
connection to
Y'all
the
didn't
Nation.
even sell my Free Fallen shit. Earlier.
I know.
I opened it.
I
I
heard
opened
it.
the episode by singing Free
I
Fallen.
heard it.
And no one gave me shit.
Yeah, there was no history between
Fucking
Owen and the Nation. He just joined for
Road
no reason.
Warriors no sell all
So
my shit.
what was what was the thing with the Nation? Was it just that they were
Discriminatory. They needed a white guy.
okay.
Crush was gone.
And they were
Yeah,
supposed to be
Crush.
against the establishment and stuff like that.
Well, they were
So,
feuding with DX, who Owen was feuding with, wasn't it? So it was sort of
I
the.
don't know why.
And
And
my
DX
enemy
did
is my friend.
blackface.
And then this is the famous Raw where they had those people dressed up as the Nation.
And
Was it X
brought in
Pac?
that comedian Jason
the
Sensation.
Jason Sensation
Who did
was,
Owen? Yeah.
was Owen, and it was really good.
Yes.
He's the only one that's good
That
because the
was
rest of
the-
them fucking do blackface.
Yeah. X Pac is Mizark.
Yeah.
He had black
It
face.
smells like shit, but I'll eat it.
And who was it? Who else was it? Road Dogg.
Road Dogg was D-Lo.
Oh yeah,
It was
with the,
Bilo.
Yeah. And Triple H was the Croc.
Oh, yeah, because he had the
Yeah,
big,
big
heavy
ears.
eyebrows that he
And so
raised.
I guess Billy was Godfather.
That's when the nugget phrase started.
I am not a nugget.
Because Sean said Owen was a nugget of feces in a toilet bowl that no matter how many times he flushed it, he couldn't get rid of it.
Sean?
Yeah. In an interview, he said he called Owen.
Oh, but not during this because Sean wasn't.
No.
Oh,
Just
okay.
that's kind of where it started, I guess.
Okay. That makes more sense.
He stayed with the Nation until SummerSlam. Then he started teaming with Jeff Jarrett.
Don't piss me off.
And those two
They
became,
tried to
real legit friends.
Push Owen
No,
having an affair with Deborah.
Slapnuts was only WCW. Can't say Slapnuts in WWE.
Yeah.
And even his wrestling figures said, "Don't tick me off." Can't even say piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Al
I remember
Snow
that.
has
They,
this
well, they
decapitated head.
wanted it, and he said no.
Yeah, they
way,
tried
no.
to have Owen have an affair with Deborah behind Jeff Jarrett's back, and Owen refused.
Probably because he already had sunny days.
And I know Deborah said like he was like notorious too. Like she'd ask about an outfit, and he's like, "Oh, your ass looks fat" or something. But he was like messing with her, you know.
During a match with Dan Severn, Owen hurt Severn and quit,
What?
which is why he came back as a Blue Blazer. Because Owen Hart
So
quit.
he quit because he hurt someone.
After a match in which Hart accidentally injured Dan Severn,
Shoot?
Hart.
There's no way
I don't
Dan
think
Severn got
Dan
shoot
Severn's
hurt.
a beast.
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
exactly.
Hart quit WWF. Playing off the legitimate injury Hart had inflicted on Austin the year before.
Oh, okay.
The angle blurred the line between reality and storyline. Yet as soon as Hart quit, the Blue Blazer started showing up.
But sometimes he was the Black Blazer. Could beware.
Owen kept saying it was not him.
Call back to High Energy.
Jeff Jarrett played him.
Mhm.
Like if you're interviewing Owen, you know, let the Blue Blazer see there he is right now. And it'd be
yeah,
Jeff Jarrett.
yeah.
And then then Owen and Jeff are being interviewed, and Coco Beware was the Blue Blazer.
Fucking awesome. He just comes down to the ring like doing the flying.
He's also like a foot shorter.
and he's black.
Yes.
He's not fully covered. It's not like Goldust where he's fully covered.
Yeah, his chin hangs out. Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
but his upper body
Upper
also
body,
hangs
too.
out.
Yeah. They're interviewing Hart and Jeff. They both claimed to not be the Blue Blazer, and the Blue Blazer appeared next to him. However, it was obvious that it was a black man.
Yeah.
It's Coco.
Coco Beware.
That's what
yeah.
it says. A black man.
It was obvious that a black man was under the mask, and then it says Hart's former partner, Coco Beware.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I was gonna say. There's like it was just a guy.
In 1999, Blue Blazer and Jeff Jarrett beat Ken Shamrock and a Big Boss Man for the tag team championship because they were corporation.
Or Union.
Ken Shamrock.
Shamrock and Boss Man is a random team.
Yeah.
Would that be?
It's either corporation or union because both. Well, no, I don't think Bossman was in the union.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
this
Chevron
is-
Corporation.
Shamrock
January
was
of
a corporation,
99.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
January of
there higher
99
than,
is
yeah.
is that still corporation or
I really
ministry?
don't know.
I
Because I
think so.
remember
We can cover a corporation one day.
Yeah.
I remember Shamrock and Shane had a thing.
Yeah.
WrestleMania
funny.
15, they defended the belts against Test and D'Lo Brown.
WrestleMania 15
Test.
is in
In
every
Philly.
corner.
No, it was
Oh.
16.
That's
Oh.
Philly. That's Austin Rock. The first one.
Oh
I
yeah,
think so,
15,
yeah.
17, 19. Yeah.
Test and D'Lo Brown's another random team.
15 was Outlaws and Funk and Foley.
No, that
Was that
was
the-
14. What the fuck is 15?
15's Austin Rock
Yeah.
Oh,
in Philly. That's the first one. That's Rock is heel.
that was in Philly. I thought Hearts in every corner. Fucking McMahon in every corner.
No, that was WrestleMania 2000.
Oh, okay.
Which is 16.
That all blends together.
Yeah.
They lost the tag belts to Kane and X-Pac on an episode of Raw.
Well, they really had some weird thrown together teams.
There was no tag division. There really wasn't.
Oh.
God.
They remained a tag team until Owen died.
Yeah, but he died in a singles match.
Yeah, I think it was like we're cool. We're still cool with each other. We didn't like.
They kind of
It's more
watched
of a
each other's
faction then.
back. Yeah, because he was going
So,
for the Intercontinental against
1999
Over the edge.
On May 23rd, 1999, at Over the Edge.
Come on. I mean, it's there. It's hanging fruit. No pun intended.
Oh,
Jeez,
God.
gosh.
He didn't hang. I mean, at some point he did, but he
Wow.
was not hung,
So-
hanged.
The gimmick was a lot of this I know because I read this book was he was supposed to
Descend.
descend and then drop early and fall because he was supposed to be like a goofy.
Right, because they did do that where like he would
Yeah.
wiggle his way out and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he was supposed to like fall into the ring and then get up and be like, hey,
Well, that's what so he was supposed to like Sting would drop dead center to the ring.
Yeah.
This was like he would like come down off center and like so he'd have to like swim his way to the center.
yeah.
You know,
It wouldn't lower him all the way. And he had
Yeah.
like, yeah. It was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Not Sting was like serious.
Yeah.
He fell 78 feet, landed chest first on the top rope, then landed on his back on the ring, bounced, and landed again, and broke every bone in his body.
And towards aorta.
Toward his aorta. He was
alive.
somehow still alive.
He was alive. His heart was beating
Yes.
when
Now,
he left
the
the
fall
arena.
was not on TV, despite what the people may tell you.
Nope. You cannot see it.
There's lots of shit on YouTube. Watch Owen Hart fall. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
They were showing a promo in the back when he fell.
Mhm.
So you didn't see it live, you did, but not on TV.
Well, because I guess they were showing a pre-tape interview with Owen.
Yes,
'Cause I guess
exactly what it was.
They were
It
going to
was on-
show him
Yes.
descending, but not going to show from all the way up there.
Well, that's
What
kind
are
of
they doing
boring
that
if you're on
Yeah.
a pay per view. Like, who wants to watch this guy
until
come
we got
down?
to a certain point.
Yeah.
So they figured out the minute or two it took for that.
When they cut back, you only saw the announcers.
Mhm.
Remember that was Jim Ross saying there's been an accident. It's
The
not
Owen
part
Hart
of the
voice,
TV.
yeah. Which they have now butchered, and they should never ever do it unless it's real. I hate when they do the Owen Hart voice. When I say that, we all know what I mean. The very serious. It's not like, and he's coming to the ring and he's falling from the ring. No, he fell. He just fell from the ring, from the rafters.
Well, they did.
There's a difference.
When
you know?
Lawler had the heart attack, that was
Yeah.
Michael
Cole
Cole.
was
That was
legit,
serious.
right,
Like,
Right,
that was
but
yeah,
they do that shit like
for fake stuff. Or what,
Like,
you know what I mean?
Braun-
Not real
like-
injuries.
Like
Randy
Roman.
Orton has just punted Stephanie McMahon's head and she's on her way to the medical facility.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
And then
No.
next week she
That's
shows
not
up
what
on
that,
Raw.
That's not that doesn't get that. Don't do that. Kayfabe it. Like fucking build it up. I can't believe he just punted her head. Don't fucking Owen Hart voice
yeah,
for shit that's not Owen Hart tragedy like.
right.
Lawler having a heart attack is that's tragedy, you know?
Yeah.
Even though he lived, it's still
Yeah.
fucking crazy that he
But
had a heart attack.
like Cole witnessed that. So
Yeah.
like it was just
Oh, but
Yeah.
live on Raw. I mean, that wasn't
Sitting right next.
that
to
wasn't
him.
on camera. They cut to it later, didn't they?
I
'Cause
really
there was a
don't know.
match going on when Lawler.
I
like-
don't remember.
Lawler,
even think I was
Lawler
watching.
had wrestled, and then after the match, he went back to the commentators table.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He wrestled the Miz, I think, wasn't it, or Dolph?
Dolph. He
Yeah.
took the 10 elbows from
elbows.
Dolph.
Mm.
They ended up winning the match.
Oh, so
I think
Dolph
whoever
killed him. Tried to kill him.
and they were talking, and I think they cut to something in the back. And when they came back, that's when Cole was like, "We have a very serious situation here," and they just stayed focused on. And then I think there was a match
I don't
going
think I was
on.
watching.
Yeah.
I haven't watched many 3-hour.
that
Raws.
was around the time where I was like off and on anonymous GM bullshit. And,
Ugh. So, like I've said before, The Rock was in Gorilla and said to Vince, I want to go out and check on my friend. And Vince
yes.
said, I can't stop you, but the crowd is going to pop and they're going to think it's part of the show.
Yes.
Right.
So The Rock didn't go out. I think he
that's-
said in his
that's
book
probably the right.
I
thing to
regret
do.
that I didn't
That he-
because
No, I think the right thing to do was don't go out because again, you would have had the crowd cheering. Wait till he comes to the back.
yes, but he did get wheeled to the back, still alive. He
He
had,
was alive when he left the
The-
arena.
yes, a very faint heart
But
beat.
he was alive in the ambulance.
Yes.
So as far as anyone knew, in that ambulance, it is a giant tragedy, but he is alive.
yeah. But I think Rock said like he regrets because he didn't get to see him when they wheeled him back because the way they took him wasn't past
No,
him.
that's-
They didn't
sucks,
go
but-
through Gorilla. They went a different
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
that
he
was
didn't get
it.
a chance to see him.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, he
that's,
could have
that's what I
thrown
mean.
he could have thrown the hood on, but by the time you get to that, whatever. I don't know.
And what was The Rock gonna do? No offense. I mean, there was a million people out there working on what this
Yeah.
rockets would have been in the way.
Yeah.
No offense, but dude. So according to this, they waited 15 minutes while Vince and Patterson and Briscoe and someone else debated whether to cancel the show or continue.
I don't fault them for anything.
They weren't waiting to find out what happened to Owen. They were waiting to find out, what do we do now? Like,
Hey.
he was supposed to wrestle Godfather. Now that match is gone. You know, what do we do?
These fans just witnessed a possible.
It was the
death.
second match of the night. And how do you tell 20,000 people to go home?
I do not. I know a lot of people fault them. I know there are
Owen's
many-
wife
Yes,
Yeah.
I
hammered
understand.
him for it.
I understand people being upset that they continue the show. I also understand continuing the show. It is a in the moment split decision. You have two options here. You have no, and on this hand, someone got in right now seriously injured. There is a giant cloud hanging over the rest of this show. On the other hand, you have, who knows, 20,000, 25,000, whatever it is, people that have paid and are here for a good night. And
We could probably
Do-
use the entertainment
do you send everybody home on someone falling from the roof?
on that note.
Or do you try to, I'm going to do whatever I can to send you home to try to get this out of your head?
Yeah, let's try to get through this
Well,
together and
Yes.
take your mind off what you just saw, especially kids. There was
Look,
kids in the crowd.
Like we've talked about before, you and I, and said like, also it sucks, but like wrestling's conditioned people like sometimes like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
shit was real. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you got.
I wouldn't put it past WWE to like send us all home just for a fucking story.
We had watching at home. You have JR and Lawler saying this was not planned. This is not what was supposed to happen. This is very serious. But the people in the crowd, they don't know. They don't know any of this.
I mean,
You
they
can't
see
hear them.
they see
Mhm.
Owen being worked on in the ring. They could tell. I think they said people in the crowd
They
that
did
they
the same
thought.
thing. They did the
But-
same thing when Sean got enziguri'd, right?
Yeah,
right.
they thought people in the live crowd thought it was a mannequin or a dummy
That's what I had
falling
heard
Yeah.
too.
because the way he fell was,
Yes.
you know, you don't fall in a straight line. People think you do, but you
Yeah.
don't. But yeah, so I get it. I get it.
I do. I do not fault
And like
them.
you know, Vince didn't have hours to
Yeah.
have a meeting. You know, let's
Have
discuss
minutes.
the pros and cons. It was like, we've got to do something. There's a
And
live
if
crowd
it's
out there.
Minutes that probably feel like seconds.
If it was like a later match, I could maybe see.
No, I don't think
You
you.
can't.
I don't think you cancel at all. I think you try. Oh, hey, so somebody just died. See you. Go home.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
do that. You gotta try to. There's kids in this crowd. You've got to try to make them
Imagine
see something different.
that's your
Yeah.
first ever wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah,
You know, you're 6 years old. And the
You've
last that
gotta
you
do
remember is
something that is not the thing you go home thinking about. Yes, you are going to go home thinking about that. The adults are going to go home thinking about that. The kids probably not. They're going to say,
forgot
"Oh, we
about
got
it by
to
the next
see
match."
Undertaker," and
or who
Whatever.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the main event was that night. I don't remember, but
no idea.
Yeah.
But I don't fault them. I
it's
really
tough. It's tough.
don't. It's a very tough decision.
But it said 15 minutes. Imagine you're the live crowd. You're like, what is going on?
But even that 15 minutes has to feel
That
like
felt like an
seconds.
It's like
eternity.
you're just sitting there, like, oh my god, what the fuck just happened? Like, it feels like hours.
No,
I'm
see, I
sure,
think it
but
feels
like-
like seconds. I feel like every minute feels like a second. You've got because you're trying to rack your brain with every possible scenario.
I mean, for the fans.
What?
And-
Okay.
And let's keep this in mind. He's not dead yet.
He's not dead.
So it's not like they went, oh, he died. Okay, who's next? Next match. Let's go. They probably expected, but at that point, he's alive.
You don't know. I mean, yeah.
And
Worse. I mean, they went through this with Beefcake. That guy should have been fucking dead. His whole face was sand.
Yeah.
It was obliterated. There was no bone
there was
left.
no face. Yeah.
It was meat. They had to
Like-
hold open. Someone had to have their hand inside of his face to hold it open for him to breathe.
It was
Yeah.
He
hamburger.
had no bone.
Terrible.
Hamburger
The thing
meat.
that makes your face a face was not there.
Yeah. Ground up
It's
hamburger
terrible.
meat. That's what it was
it was.
like. So
I was 2.
Vince's argument was Owen would want the show to go on.
I mean, you don't know that. I hate that argument.
But
'Cause you don't
Owen's
know.
wife said, absolutely not. If Owen was in the back and watched another wrestler fall, Owen would have not wanted to go on. Owen would have said, screw this.
Owen's wife also sued people that had nothing to do with it.
So that's part.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's talk about the next night. The Owen Hart tribute.
Raw was Owen.
Fucking amazing.
I cried.
It
I
is. I
cried.
still
I
haven't-
bawled like a baby.
I still can't watch Jeff's interview.
Oh,
Jeff
Oh,
Jarrett's
yeah.
interview is something about grown men showing emotion really resonates with me.
I think
Yeah,
The
I think
Eddie
that
one-
resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
got to me.
Oh, I cried with Eddie.
One. Yeah.
Because I told you guys like fucking the Ric Flair thing when he gets emotional about when he was feeling not himself.
Yeah.
I get emotional
Yeah.
for that. I don't know why. I fucking hate Ric Flair, but as a person, as a wrestler, I fucking love him.
But yeah, that
The tribute show was. It was like matches, right? But it was
Well,
just
it
mainly
wasn't really-
focused
it wasn't-
on-
it
the
didn't really
boys
matter.
were told you don't have to work tonight if you don't want to.
if you want to work.
If you wanna work, fine, but
talk. You do
It's
whatever
not
you want.
storyline. We're not going
Yeah.
to push the pay per view. Just go out there and have a match.
Yeah.
and
And they
some of
had-
the guys went out. I think was a Godfather and Road Dog, and then they ended up saying like, "Oh, let's just go burn one and tell Owen's story."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Austin
And then-
came out at the end
Mhm.
and put that beer in the ring, and then
I do.
which was kind of, even though he wasn't really cool with Owen, I'm still like, hey, I respect you as a worker.
Which
and
is
as a
what
person.
I wish we would have. What we did get for Benoit. I just wish it didn't get sullied the next night.
Yeah. This was the last Over the Edge pay per view.
No, was it?
Yes, they changed it to Judgment Day the next year.
Oh,
They didn't have it anymore after this.
okay.
It was not on the network for 15 years. And then they finally put it on the network.
That
That
network's been around for 15 years. I don't believe that. When did the network start?
Well,
I
it
don't know.
started as a thing for Comcast.
24/7.
yeah, that was
Is
what
that what you
So
do?
I
WWE.com,
guess
whatever.
I
Okay.
kind of consider
But
that part.
You couldn't watch it, in other words. It was never released on Coliseum Home Video. There was never a commercial copy of it.
Okay.
So
I
unless you
said
had
2000
ordered it originally and it recorded.
Because I was
it
gonna say when
yourself.
I first got the
No,
network,
in
I remember watching
2014. So 15
it.
years.
That's when the network started.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't available for 15
Yes.
years.
And then the network aired it without that.
well, I thought the Owen voice thing is still in it though.
It said there's a thing in the beginning in memory of Owen,
Oh, okay.
but that match, they skipped the first match to the next match. That
Mm.
whole thing is gone.
okay.
And there's no mention
So you
of
go,
Owen, no footage of Owen.
So you go from match 1 to match 3, and Jeff Jarrett's coming out crying, and you have no idea why.
Yes. So
That's
that
another
whole
thing that got me.
that
man.
whole like Jim Ross saying this is real,
Yeah.
that none of that. That's all wiped clean.
You can find it on YouTube.
So oh god, we could spend another hour on this. So
Martha.
yes. So originally, and Vince made out to be the villain in all this.
Of course he was. Who was? You got to blame someone. Who are you going to blame?
Well, much like we say, if your football team plays badly, the coach takes the fall.
Yeah, or the GM.
Vince runs the company.
Not
Mhm.
the fucking water boy.
Right.
Apparently that
Yeah, right.
Day.
You don't. Yeah,
It's not
you
the
don't
water boy's
sue
fault.
It's a fucking cotton candy guy.
Yeah, you don't sue the guy who
The hot dog
gave them
vendor.
towels.
Yeah.
You don't sue the guy who washed their clothing.
you don't say the guy was parking cars that night. Yeah.
Well,
You don't
The
blame
guy-
the guy that deflated the ball. Oh wait, you do.
The guy who set up the cable and everything, fine, maybe, but like a fucking food vendor, why?
We'll get to that. So Vince did it himself earlier that day
Always
was
does.
just
to
gonna say.
show Owen.
Always
And
does.
Vince doesn't do anything of his boys, doesn't do himself.
He took the fall for
And-
Rob Gronkowski.
Mhm.
He did the zip line for WrestleMania
at
12.
70 some years old.
Yeah,
He did Sean's too.
that's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
Zip line at 12. yeah.
But
So
the thing of it is, too, is he did it that day, but this wasn't the first time Owen had come from the rafters on a harness.
yes, Owen had done it before.
A
And
few
they
times.
used the same people that Sting was using, I believe.
And Owen had done a test run that day too. And he wasn't crazy about it, but he did it. And it went off okay. That part. So the guy they obviously saw what Sting was doing on
Mhm.
Nitro, and
Right.
Vince went, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Well, you can't do it from a helicopter. That was cool. Remember
So-
when he did it from a helicopter?
Yeah.
That was dope.
So-
the last Nitro.
yeah. No, not last Nitro.
It's
No,
not.
Sting was way too old to be repelling that.
It's
No,
not
it was,
known.
It was one of those outside Nitros, though. Yeah.
It's not known whether this guy lied or told the truth, and Vince didn't do his due diligence. But this guy claimed, "Hey, I'm the guy that does Stings in WCW," and Vince went, "Oh, cool! So you can do it for my guy." Yeah. Well, it turns out this guy was the guy who worked for 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 the
motherfucker.
guy. That's like me saying, "Oh yeah, I helped run the hospital."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but not really.
Yeah.
Or like
So-
you and I were talking about when we went to that Saliva concert and that like first band
Yeah,
out,
well, I've
out
seen
of
lots of
12
those.
they can put down opened up for
Hey,
Saliva.
I opened for Dead Kennedys pretty much.
Yeah, see,
I can say that.
You
I
could
opened
put
for
a-
the guy that was the lead singer for Dead Kennedys on a 13 band show at 1 o'clock when he went on at 9 o'clock.
yeah, but on your resume,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's not known whether this guy fudged it and bullshit to get the job, or if he was honest and Vince went, close enough, go do it.
I doubt Vince ever says close enough, go do it.
Yeah, so it's not known.
especially when it comes
Because
to
Vince is going to also do it.
According to Martha, now granted, it's her side is they didn't do their due diligence and just went, oh, okay, that's good.
It's not ECW. It's not
And he
some
didn't-
fat 17-year-old saying that he was trained by Killer Kowalski and then gets stabbed in the face by New Jack when Killer
So-
Kowalski is there that night.
So apparently this guy did do stuff with Sting, but he didn't like hook up the harness.
Right.
He was like the guy in the ground
Yeah.
who like
He worked for the company.
he
that
carried
he
it
was
in a
never-
rope.
yeah.
He was never the guy that actually had
yes,
to do it.
he probably drove the truck with the equipment in it. That's all he did. But technically,
Yes.
so this harness had a quick release
hmm
that was meant to hold for sailboats or something, that in an emergency you could click it and your sail would pop up. It was like that, like you could barely touch it, it would boom.
Well, they wanted that quick release because in the other previous ones that Owen had did, it took too long to get
And
out.
Sting had gone through
And
that.
then-
We're trying to get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Sting had one where he came down and he just went like that, and
Yeah.
boom, he was
Yeah.
out. So that's what Vince wanted.
It took WCW a few tries, so he kind of
Right, yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah.
And Owen was supposed to fall, so the gimmick wouldn't work if he's up there fumbling to get it
Mhm.
unlocked. He had to go quick and fall.
Right, but he was supposed to be like
Yeah.
here,
Now,
not
on the
here.
way, I've heard that his cape was stuck, and he was like pulling on the cape to get it out of the harness, and that unhooked it. I've heard he hit it too soon, and then I've also heard he was too heavy.
I don't know if he's too
And
heavy.
well, when he did it, he wasn't wearing a mask and a cape and all the other.
Yeah, but you think
boots
you
and
think Owen
bullshit.
weighed more than Sting? Just say
I don't
we're,
know.
we're
I mean-
comparing it to Sting because Sting is probably the most famous person to do the drop-in thing. And if this is the same mechanism, and Sting is fucking jacked,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
if
mean,
it's the
it's
same.
weird that he never looked that jacked until you see him next to some certain guys.
Yeah.
But like Sting was fucking ripped as shreds.
But we don't know that this
Yeah.
guy who was 17th on the line, who's all of a sudden the guy in charge, is using the same harness
I would assume they're using the same
or
mechanism.
doing it the same
I'm
way.
not worried about the harness. I'm worried about the mechanism that actually has the release.
Yes, 'cause he
Well,
may
and-
not know. I mean,
And I had heard that too. Was like that, like when they rigged it up, he had a thing here in the front.
No, your
That was
release
like
is
the
never
full-
in the front. Your release will never be in the front. It'll always be
Well,
in the
they-
back because there's too much that can go wrong up here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like one of the things that they had claimed was like it was in the front, so that way when he got close, all he had to do was like this. He wouldn't have to be reaching behind him because with the cape, and all
Even
that, I
even
don't know.
parachutes, your parachutes are up here, but your release from the parachute is back here, so that you don't accidentally ever touch it when you're.
Well, I
doing
guess
your
when you're
parachute.
not
the
ready.
thing to activate the release or whatever. I guess they were supposed to.
There's not many
activate
times
something.
where you're going back here, but there's many times where your hands are touching somewhere in this
or you
area.
can
And that's-
bump it on
that's-
something. And,
that-
Yeah.
that's where like you said, like where he was like fumbling with his cape, he hit
Yeah.
that thing and
so nobody really knows, but Owen, of course, nobody really knows. what happened.
Obviously, yeah.
So, according to this book, Vince reached out to Martha and said, "I will pay you Owen's salary forever."
Same thing they're doing with Brody's wife and kid.
And he was due to get a raise because he was supposed to win the belt that night of Godfather. So I will pay you Owen's salary plus more forever. Your kids ever want to come to a show? Just ask. They want to go backstage.
I mean, they were Hearts anyway. They always
yeah.
go backstage.
I set up college funds. Like, you will be taken care of. And Martha went, okay, that's nice. Thank you. And agreed to it. And then a lawyer gets in her ear and goes, do you know how much money that man has? He's offering you that? That ain't nothing. He's going to write that off for taxes. He probably leaves that for a tip at a restaurant.
That's not true.
We,
two kids, college funds, plus salary for life.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
A
And
lawyer.
he was making six figures.
And
at that
every time they, you got to remember this kind of shit. They were publicly traded at the time, or no?
I don't think they were.
They were.
Oh,
not
see,
yet.
that is different because at public trading, every year or every quarter when they boast their sales, she would be able to go into that meeting and say, okay, you have now upped this much. You are now going up this much.
Yeah. Like child support. You get a
Yes,
raise, you're
exactly.
paying more.
If you're, but on the other side of that, if you're projecting losses, which he did for a little while, you also then take a decrease. But and
that-
right now, she would have made out so much money this year.
But I think something like that, though, Vince probably would have had like, look, if you have to take it from me, leave her money alone. You know what I mean? Like if she's supposed to get $200,000, she gets
I don't think she's getting
$200,000.
anything thousands.
Vince.
I don't think thousands is a word Vince McMahon knows. I don't think he was offering her anything thousands.
Back in the
We're
90s,
talking, and that's true. We are still talking about 98,
It's 99, yeah.
99.
So-
yeah.
Well,
I mean, Vince is
from what I had
heartbroken.
saw, he was making six figures.
Yeah,
a year,
he
you know?
was
So, I mean,
making like an upper mid card guy, whatever they made back then.
Yeah.
Vince was heartbroken. She's heartbroken. They sort of not
Yeah.
comfort each other, but it was sort of like, hey, I want to do the right thing here. Let me help you. And she was okay with it. And then the Hart family and a lawyer got into her ear and went, we can bankrupt this guy.
But
Your
they didn't
son,
bankrupt him.
Your husband died. Your kids don't have a father. Martha didn't work. Owen was it. And got in her ear and went, I can get you more.
But that wouldn't matter. If you're talking about money, it didn't matter about work. You're getting his work.
Yeah. So it's not funny,
Well-
but like you were saying, she sued
Everyone.
Titan Corp,
That was just
WWF,
a start. Yeah.
Vince McMahon personally, not Vince McMahon on part of WWF, like he pushed Owen, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
She sued the rigging company,
She sued
She
Marty
sued
Jannetty, who wasn't even working for the company.
Kemper Arena, which is
kidding.
the arena that happened. She sued like the popcorn vendor that night. Like there was like 30 people in this lawsuit. She sued the mayor of Kansas City. It's not funny, but she
It's
literally
not funny, but it's fucking hilarious
sued.
that someone can
if
do
you
that.
said hi to Owen that night, she sued you.
Yeah.
Like she sued everybody.
and that is just
And
that's not caring about.
That's not. I'm sorry, it's not.
And
like
then-
that's getting money. It's
Yeah.
not caring about
From what-
what is at stake. Here.
what
like
from what I gather, what hurt Vince the most was she cut off ties because
Mhm.
now Vince has to talk to her lawyer.
Mhm,
Instead of us working it out, because Vince has known Stu for a million years.
mhm.
Now Brett, of course, is gone by this point.
But from what I also understood, though, it wasn't like Brett. It was all the Hearts that weren't involved really in
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Were the ones that got it in their ear.
They all
just
they
terrible.
all saw dollar signs.
That's
not caring about
Yeah,
what happened.
and
It's worrying
she-
about money.
From what I read the book, the lawyer said, like, if you sue 100 people, they're gonna throw out 50. Let's say you still have 50 left. You're gonna get money from. Like, look at it that way. Like we always say, go high and negotiate down.
yeah, but it's just
And
terrible.
like, I mean, like the mayor of the city, what was he? He was probably home that night going, I don't even watch friggin' wrestling. Like
yeah.
everybody.
The arena, like we just
She
put on the
sued-
acts,
she
you know.
Yeah.
sued
You
the
rent the
arena.
building.
They rented
Because
the building from us.
The building was unsafe, was her claim.
Mhm.
Because apparently they were supposed to design buildings that could lower men in. I think they didn't build that
Supposed
arena
to
going
have a net that shoots out
10
if you
years
start
from
to
now,
fall
some
from
wrestler's
the
going to be lowered. We got to make sure
Yeah.
it's safe. It was so bad. Vince reached out to Brett
Mhm.
and said, Brett, I can't talk to her anymore. She's got a lawyer. She's making it ugly. I really want to do the right thing. Could you be like a go-between and help me out? Whatever we got between us, let's put that aside and let's, you got to help me out with your family.
And Brett is a bitter fucking old
And-
man at this point.
Brett did reach out and tried to talk to Martha, and she sort of was saying, like, gotta talk to my lawyer. He killed Owen. Like, so she wouldn't sort of get off that. She killed my husband. And Brett was like, but Vince loved Owen too. Like it was an accident.
Who didn't?
Yeah, and
Besides Austin.
Brett tried to help, and Brett was sort of on Vince's side in the beginning. Like it sucks, but and then like you said, then Neidhart needs a job, and Bulldog needs a job, and all the sisters, and they all want. Well, we want to get in on this, but I want my husband to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So then now there's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's all these hands in the pot and having their hands out. And
That's sad.
It's
a sad way to end someone's very short career, but such talent in that short span. I mean, of 13 years, 13-year career. Like AJ's been in WWE that long at this point.
in the end, she got $18 million.
That's nothing.
18 million.
That's it.
Imagine what his salary would have been.
Is that what she got, or is that what she had to then pay the lawyer?
She won.
So she had to then pay the lawyer off of that.
I'm sure.
18 million.
That's nothing.
Okay. Now imagine what was his salary?
If I won $18 million today, I'd be like, damn, that's it.
That's a lot of money to us, regular people.
It's not.
But
it's not even enough to quit my job.
$18 million she got. But she also got all the rights to Owen.
To do nothing with.
All likenesses, all.
To do absolutely nothing with.
Which is why he's never in games.
To do absolutely nothing.
Why he's sort of like, everyone complains, why they like Owen disappeared? Because Vince has to cut her a check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that was the thing I had heard too. Like, I mean, after the lawsuit, but like prior to her suing, like Vince had said to her, like, I'll pay you his salary. Anything that we had, like his T-shirt sales, anything in the future we had planned with him, you're going to get a percentage of that.
Vince,
I would love a blue blazer shirt.
Vince tried, and then once lawyers get involved, then it was because then Vince's like, now I got to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, you know
and
what? Well,
now,
I'll hire a lawyer. He has lawyers.
He's probably got a team of lawyers.
He does.
But so
Jerry McDevitt, right? It's the big one.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but apparently in the 90s, his salary was $200,000.
Okay, so 200,000,
and he was due for a raise.
In
let's
1999, we're in 2022.
That's
her life. Remember, it was life. It was not for the Rainer effect contract.
Yeah, it wasn't until your kids turned 18. It was like
life and college funds.
Yeah.
18 million isn't even two kids' college funds.
And anything like your kids want to come to a show, front row seats. You want to go backstage?
So
I'll take care of them.
If it stayed at 200,000, if that is or was his salary
for 23 years,
right now it would be $4.5 million.
And that's just
at 200,
and that's just his salary.
That doesn't include the raising,
and that's till
any
today.
Of the rights of his stuff, or the college funds, or his kids, because he said he'll take care of the kids and their college funds.
If she would get all of the money,
she didn't even probably get 4.5 after lawyers
from his merchandise or his likeness or whatever,
because they would have used it. There would have been so many figures.
Yes. Oh, you know how much shit Vince would have put out with Owen to make sure she got a nice check?
And every single one would have went to her, and it would have been a commemorative. There wouldn't be 100 Owen figures. There would be one every now and then to commemorate Owen's legacy.
And AEW has an Owen Hart tournament.
Now, AEW, Tony Khan, has the rights to all of this. She better do fucking good by, because there's a lot of people that are going to kick his ass if he doesn't.
Which also, would have been included video sales. So if Owen's on those SummerSlams or something, well, it sold 100 units of that, you get a percentage of that.
Yep. Yeah. She would have got a cut out of the network.
In 2001,
every time one of his matches is played or something.
Diana wrote a book. And in the book, she talks about Owen and his death. Martha sued her.
Sued Diana?
Because she said some things about Owen she didn't like. And she had that book taken off the market. Like, this woman is half crazy.
Wow.
The Owen Hart DVD that WWE put out.
Heart of Gold. Yeah.
She sued.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because they had unauthorized photos of Owen that she did not give them permission to use.
That's not about.
Did it come from the Hart family?
But she owns his name, his likeness, everything. That's why there's no, like we said, no figures. There's no.
If your husband is a very well received professional wrestler, wouldn't you want everybody to just memorize everything?
Commemorize. Memorize is just
and
different word.
and acknowledge everything that he did. And,
I agree.
Like,
Let's let it recorded right now. If I do something really cool in anything, and I tragically die, I want my name spread everywhere. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want. You don't have to. Nobody has to pay a dime to anybody. Just fucking talk about me.
In
when I
June
die.
2010, she filed a lawsuit against WWE over the WWE's use of Owen's name and likeness, as well as personal photos that were unauthorized in the Heart and Soul DVD.
No Heart. Oh, so that wasn't the Owen though.
Yeah, that's the other one, Heart and Soul.
That's the whole Hart family.
As
one.
well as the failure to make royalty payments. It was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount.
Okay, that's a different. That's Heart of Gold was
The Owen one,
Owens. Yeah,
which she probably sued for that too.
probably.
Kevin Owens named his son Owen,
yes.
and he took the
And he
name
also took
Owens
the name
as
Owens,
a
yes.
tribute. During Mark
That
Henry's
one I do know.
Hall of Fame induction,
Yes, I do remember that.
he asked Martha to allow Owen in.
yeah.
Yep, I remember him.
Martha's
talking about this.
response was, they don't even have a Hall of Fame. They have a hallway of fame. It doesn't exist. There's nothing. It's a fake entity. There's nothing real or tangible. It's just an event to make money.
It's not to make. Okay.
They put it on
It's to
TV
honor people.
and have a celebration. It's ridiculous. I would never even entertain the thought of it. It's garbage.
Who? How does she know?
This is a best friend of Owen reaching
Well,
out.
And the thing is, whoever goes in the Hall of Fame, first off, they get a payday for it, and then
Yeah,
they
she went up
usually are
Get like a
signed to
bust.
like a Legends contract or something, so like they can use their likeness in like a video game or something, like, so you get more
From-
out of it. Like,
Now, the book I read is a little older. Now the kids are grown, but from what I read, and remember, they never attended any wrestling events.
That's not true anymore.
She took them out of that.
Yeah,
Like, you're not going to support this sport that killed your dad.
yeah, it's not true anymore.
So they didn't go to any shows. They never
Mhm.
cashed in those front row seats. They cut ties with the Hart family.
Even fucking Benoit has been to shows.
His son
David.
wrestles.
Because
David.
Yeah,
the
David,
the
right?
Hart family, like I said, they were
That's
more
the one that survived.
they were more interested in getting Neidhart a job and getting Bulldog a job. And so Martha went like, you guys don't give a shit about Owen. You want your own. So she didn't associate with them at all. They
Yeah.
didn't see the kids growing up. She completely cut ties.
And that's not caring.
And I knew she, we,
Surprised Vince didn't have her killed.
Joe and I would watch, and they would show like clips of an old Raw, and you'd see Owen. I'm like, oh,
She
Rich
got
just wrote her a check.
Yeah.
Which is why I think about it. They 20th anniversaries of Raw, or they never show Owen. How many of those Rumble highlights or WrestleMania highlights? There's no Owen because Vince doesn't want to cut her a check.
That's why whenever you're going to talk about greatest WrestleMania matches, you're never going to actually have one of the greatest
Right,
WrestleMania
no.
matches.
Yeah,
It's and I know this is completely different, but if you look at Coliseum built video back in 93 or 94, they re-released all these greatest WrestleMania, greatest SummerSlam, greatest Royal Rumble matches. It's because Hogan was in all the ones that were released previous. They were now rewriting. That's why we have that VHS with greatest WrestleMania matches that has head shrinkers versus the Steiner brothers.
yeah. They wiped
Yeah,
out Hogan.
they're fine. That's whatever. But I mean, it's not a greatest WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Well, and I think though, like there was a statute of limitations on it or something, because that's now why you can on the network see stuff with Owen and stuff, and I don't think she gets anything out of it.
No, she
I
does.
could be
No,
wrong.
she gets a check out of
And
it.
she refuses. That's why, like we said, that she'll never let him go in the Hall of Fame because
Mhm.
Vince would make money off of it. She does not.
So fucking cut her
So
a check.
She's
for it.
not.
If she's
had-
worried about money that much, cut her the check for the
Well,
whole
she
night.
doesn't want them making money off his death
They wouldn't make it would
and
go to her.
capitalizing in her mind.
What's Owen Hart tournament doing?
Yeah, I don't know how they got around that. I don't know if they're just
Because it's
funneling
not
her money.
Vince.
And they're
That's
using
true. Tony
all-
Khan didn't push him.
Yeah,
Like, so AEW has this Owen Hart Foundation tournament.
yeah.
It's Martha's charity.
But you're telling me Vince wouldn't have done the exact same thing if you would have said, "Hey, I'll do it." If
Exactly.
You do this.
Yeah, she tied his hands and then
Yeah.
complains he didn't do anything
Yeah.
And
because he's going to get sued. He knows he's going to get
Yeah.
sued, and then he'll be in court for years over what? Because there was a picture of Owen on an episode of Raw. Oh my god! Like, yeah.
Yep.
They have to wipe him clean like Benoit, and it's
Mhm.
Not-
Benoit has a reason.
Yes, I'm saying it's not fair because
And even so, Benoit's not
Because his wife had to be so naggy that day.
not to get off topic too much.
just
But
would shut up.
Benoit's son, I don't know what his name is.
He was the original.
Is it
GTS.
David?
OGs or some OGs.
No,
or
Benoit's son is.
Oh,
David.
Benoit.
Yeah, that's from his
David,
first
yeah,
wife.
Yeah.
He said he would take Chris Benoit as his name.
Yeah, he would be Chris Benoit Jr. Really weird. I don't know. Maybe he's a serial. Maybe he did it.
He looks like Benoit.
He does.
He
And
does.
Maybe he did it. Just like OJ. You know, like there's this whole thing that people actually think OJ's kid from his previous
I've
marriage
heard that. Yeah.
actually did it, and OJ was just like, "I'll take the fall.
Yeah.
So
I didn't do it, but I'll
Um,
take the fall because it's my kid."
AEW has that Owen Hart tournament. I don't know if it's going to be an annual thing or what. But we do know it's Adam Cole and Joe.
Oh, is that what it officially is now? I didn't see last
And
night.
on Rampage, we'll find out if it's Ruby or
Chris Statlander.
Statlander against
First.
Britt.
Who
I'll
is
take-
now
Oh, so it's Britt, not Tony. God damn
It's
it!
gonna be Cole and Britt. I'm telling you.
and Statlander's no longer like an alien. She's like
Yeah,
from
well, that's
New
been
Yeah,
over
York
for
the
a
and
best
all
while.
that.
friends are like
I didn't-
splitting up.
I hadn't seen
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, we saw on BTE Chuck was cutting out Trent's face from the best friends
Because
t-shirt.
Trent said him and
Rocky Romero are now
Oh,
strictly
fully-
Roppongi Vice,
like,
but they're both part of Chaos, so it still makes sense. It's whatever.
Why couldn't Chuck and Orange be best friends?
they still are.
No, they
and Statlander.
Or maybe he was cutting out Uda. Is
Oh,
he on the
Wheeler Yuta?
T-shirt?
No, Yuta was first.
Oh,
He
okay.
cut him out when
Oh, okay.
he wasn't. Trent
Oh well,
or whatever.
yeah, not Trent.
So, All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing.
Woo woo. We doing some predictions right now. We're gonna end this on a high note, not high like where Owen fell from. Just
Jeez.
Look, we can't afford to cut her a check.
I don't give a fuck.
She doesn't even know who we are.
Even if she did, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We're an independent. We're not a publicly traded company. We do whatever.
Yeah, we didn't push him.
Neither did Vince.
You don't know that.
Okay.
I was 9 and I was fucking angry.
He probably did.
He
them
hurt.
all, too.
He concussed my favorite wrestler with an enziguri.
Yeah, not those 7
He-
season
so-
who beat him up.
He had it coming 700.
700.
As of now, the buy-in match, Hook and Danhausen
Hookhausen.
Oh, here we go.
at AEW. Justin said, "How fucking cool would it be if these two guys do that whole?"
Also, if you take a listen to some of our older episodes, maybe just like 2 months ago, I gave out about what the fuck why is Hook on TV? What is he doing? I still don't understand it, but I mean, at least he's with Danhausen now, so you have a serious guy and a comedy guy. So now it makes a little more sense because I don't think Hook was going to get over by himself.
Not with the not talking.
Yeah.
Popular with girls for some reason. I don't even think he's
He's
that
good looking. No, he's a good looking dude. Kid, whatever. I don't know.
So buy-in is Hook and Danhausen against Tony Nese and Smart Mark. which-
But on BTE, Danhausen was sneaking around and found Sterling trying to find a way out of this match. So could we get potentially Sterling can't wrestle and someone else comes in?
Like,
I don't know. Killer Cross. I don't know. That's really just
I'm
like
trying to
throwing it
get-
out there.
I didn't even know.
Anybody.
I didn't even know
Just-
Smart Mark wrestled.
It looks fucking phenomenal.
I know, but I didn't know.
Or
he
the other
worked.
guy that Dan Housen always accuses him of being.
Right. It's gonna be Matt Sterling or whatever the fuck he calls him on Bloghausen.
so
Uh,
there's none of those casino battle royal.
Nope, there's no Jokers. They already did the Jokers, and there's no Battle Royal.
for
Huh?
Double or Nothing. That's
Wow.
Yeah.
no casino battle. Royal.
Yeah, or
weird.
that
Yeah.
chip they have to get thing or whatever.
The hemorrhoid pad on the
Yeah,
pole match.
Paul, yeah.
Brass ring.
TBS Championship, Jade Cargill, Anna Jay.
Don't
Yeah.
care. Don't think Anna
I
Jay is
don't-
anything to
I
watch.
don't like Jade
I
Cargill.
I like
Jade-
Jade. I think she's
I
done
don't like
better.
Jade.
I don't like Anna Jay.
I don't like.
You have the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, against the Young Bucks. The
Don't think
Bucks
it's gonna be
of
that
Youth.
good.
That's the Hardys.
I don't
It's-
think it's gonna be that good.
So I
So
think
it's
what this is,
the
No,
same
Bucks,
team.
Bucks are winning.
they
I
have-
forgot we're doing predictions. Sorry.
they're undefeated at pay-per-views.
Bucks.
Bucks.
They're gonna lose. This will be their first loss.
This is the Hardys. This is their last run. This is the Hardys
No, it's not.
This is the Hardys
Who
versus their
says?
kids.
wrestling
Who says it's their last run?
It's their last.
It's not their
Jeff's gonna end up dead soon. This is the Hardys going around and picking their dream matches.
I hope the Bucks win. Hardys don't
I hope
need
the
it.
Bucks win too. Yeah.
Hardys don't need it.
And
I'm over them anyway.
then you have the House of Black against Death Triangle.
I think Death Triangle will win. Although
I think House of Black is going to go over.
Is this where what's her name finally turns? I don't
Who
know.
cares?
I think
Who cares?
so far that's like the only match I actually want to watch. That could be the match of the night.
Hookhausen?
No.
What?
I want to see
Fuck
it,
off.
but I mean, as
Fuck
far
off.
as wrestling, this should be a good match.
Crazy.
You have
It's you're gonna no, that's gonna be fucking phenomenal.
dude Malachi and Buddy in the ring with Penta, Phoenix, and fucking Pop.
Phoenix, who I have said many
Oh.
times is the best wrestler currently wrestling right now.
Everything he does is so smooth.
Yes.
Um,
He is the best professional
and,
wrestler.
and Brody
right now.
Bruiser. Yes.
Brody King.
Brody King. Yeah.
I know, but he looks like Bruiser Brody.
He doesn't.
MJF and Wardlow.
Don't care.
Wardlow wins.
Don't care.
Oh yeah.
It's not that big of a build as they are making it up to be. Yes, it's great for Wardlow.
Yeah.
It's a step down for
MJF makes. I
Yeah,
don't want
wasn't
to say he
MJF
makes
going for the
stars,
title
but-
last time?
No.
No.
He wrestled Punk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Then you have the women's final of the tournament.
Whoever it'll be.
Britt Baker against either Ruby or
I
Statlander.
hope Ruby.
Don't
That'd be
care.
a good match.
Don't care.
Well, whoever it is needs to go over. Brett.
Should have been Tony Storm and Ruby.
That would have been a good match too.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have the men's final: Adam Cole and Joe.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
That should be a good match too.
I think they'll finally
Lethal's gonna come
screw
out.
over Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does either one of them two have any connection to the Hearts that you guys know of? I'm just asking. I don't know.
No.
Okay, I didn't know. Does anybody?
I mean, Joe does a muscle buster, and I'm sure Owen's muscles got busted at some point when he fell.
does
Oh,
anybody know
geez.
is she supposed to be there? The kids to give out this trophy
So it's not a trophy.
or a
It is
belt?
a belt, apparently.
Belt hold up your pants. It's a
But-
title.
Shut up.
So, but I mean, is Martha supposed to be there or the
Yes,
kids?
I think
or
so.
anybody?
They were
Oh,
there
I
for
think-
something.
Yeah, they were at
Oh, okay.
one
I
of
don't-
them.
Because his daughter looks like a fucking beast.
Really?
She should be right. Yeah, she looks like an athlete.
His son looks like
They
him.
both-
No, his
both
son
have-
doesn't look like an athlete. His daughter looks like
No,
an
his son
athlete.
looks like him.
Yeah, but
They're
in
both-
the face, but his daughter looks like an athlete.
Well,
built.
she does do
physically,
stuff.
she looks like an athlete.
I think
Oh.
she played like volleyball and stuff like that.
Oh,
I think I've
okay.
seen some
So-
on
Volleyball's
the
not a
dark
sport.
side of the ring or something.
This is kind of
Eyeball's recreational with picnics.
a weird match for me. I'm sure it'll be okay, but tag team title. triple
Oh yeah,
threat.
that's really weird. You have all these great tag teams, and you have two thrown together teams.
So you have Jurassic Express, who are the current champions,
Who I forgot were champions.
against Team Taz, which is Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Who I now have a new respect for because of the RJ City interview, but still don't know how much I like them.
And Swerve in Our Glory, which is Keith Lee and Swerve.
At least they have a fucking team name.
So they're actually like good friends, which is why they're
Yeah, I thought they were just friends. I didn't know they were a team.
But like they're always saying about win loss matters and the
Yeah,
next team in
right.
line, and then these two random teams.
Yeah.
well, Swerve and Lee have good records, I guess.
Yeah, but they're not like wrestling other tag
So
teams.
what,
They're
are they
just
2-0?
wrestling.
They
Oh.
do on like dark and stuff.
Oh, so are they just wrestling Stark and Hobbs
So
every
is
week?
2-0 a better record than like 6-4? Because like you had 10 matches and you won 6 versus you had 2 matches and haven't lost any.
100% compared to 60%.
But 100% of 2 or 6 and 4. You know what I mean? Like
It's like is it
Yeah.
better to be world champion one time for a year
yeah,
or be 15 times?
yeah.
Which is better? Like JBL had it once, but he had it for a year.
And he was very memorable.
And Diesel.
Hmm.
I'm saying, he had
Let's
it
not
once
use
for a
him
year.
as the example.
But he had it for a year
Let's
compared
not
to
use him for
I
the
mean-
example.
Jurassic
that was a downtime
Express.
for wrestling.
Here's my thinking. I don't know if you've noticed, but Christian and Jungle Boy have been.
I'm gonna watch it, so I have no idea.
Christian has been kind of teaching Jungle Boy.
Mm.
Jungle Boy's been disappointing him.
Mm.
Oh, they're turning Christian heel? Or they're trying to split up Jurassic Express?
Jurassic Express is going to lose to who I don't really
Ooh,
care.
Jungle Boy puts on a suit and ties it and cuts his hair, and he is now Jungle Man. I was trying to think of a way to do Richard.
Now it's just
Richard
Jack
Morton.
Perry.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fucking good. No longer Jungle Boy. He's Jack Perry, and he comes out with a suit like Taylor Made.
If you split those two up, I don't think Lucha does as well. On his
I think he
own.
does.
I think they'll both do like
His
that.
whole thing is the hot tag. That's his like I like Lucha. I'm just saying that's his thing. Like Jungle Boy.
He'll be the next Wardlow, though. Okay, we got Wardlow
So-
over with MJF. Now we gotta get this big guy over.
Who's taking it? Taz or Swerve and Lee?
I actually think Jurassic Express is going
Swerve.
to keep it.
I don't know.
I'm-
If they're gonna lose it, Swerve's gonna get it.
Swerve is good. I like Swerve.
Yeah.
Are they
Lee,
the
eh.
same team?
No.
Hobbs and Lee,
No.
Starks and Swerve are kind of the
Completely
same.
different
team.
styles. No.
No.
Big guy and a little guy.
Yeah,
There's
like a
actually all
big guy
three
and a
teams
little
are
Only
actually-
comparison.
Lee and Swerve are good.
Ricky Starks does not work the same as Lee. As as
Swerve.
fucking shit.
Swerve.
Everyone is the same fucking name.
Swerve.
I hate this company.
How many pages and
And then you have Anarchy in the arena.
Oh, is that
that's Jericho's.
Jericho
Versus
wanted to do a
LAX.
stampede again.
versus LAX with Mox and Brian?
So it's Jericho Appreciation Society. Stupid fucking name.
No, it's not. It's fucking perfect.
I don't
It's
even know
Wizard.
who those people are.
It's Jericho
What are you talking about?
2.0,
Yeah, it's 2.0. It's
Daniel Garcia and Hager.
Yeah, Hager's still
2.0 is a knockoff Bucks, in my opinion.
Oh.
there. No.
I fucking hate
I'm
that
moving
one.
in case he throws something. I don't want to get hit.
And Blackpool.
I'm moving back, so you got to clear.
So they're
They
facing.
don't wrestle like the Bucks at all.
They look like a generic.
No, they don't even look like them.
They're facing the Blackpool Combat Club,
This belt is heavy. Just saying.
which is Brian Danielson and Moxley. They don't mention Yuta.
Just say you're not in it anymore.
No,
or-
he's not. No, he's not part of that match.
Oh, okay.
Because it's LAX. It's 5-on-5.
Yeah.
It's just LAX.
So and then it's
and-
Kingston
well,
and
I'm calling it
LAX.
LAX because that's what they were. That was LAX and TNA. Second LAX 2.0.
Yeah.
After Homicide Hernandez.
Okay, so I just listened to a thing about what happened with the second coming of LAX. It was supposed to be Homicide Hernandez, Conan, and then adding Santana Ortiz. Hernandez was working for Lucha Underground, told Impact that he got his release and never did. He thought, I'll just work here and they won't know. And then I'll just go back to Lucha Underground.
Oh,
And so Lucha Underground said, no, he's still under contract with us. We're not giving him his release now. And if you have any footage of him, we will sue you for it. So they had to do a thing where they showed a person laid out with a flag over them, which was supposed to be Hernandez. Homicide said, well, this ain't for me, so I'm going somewhere else. I don't know where he went.
Hog, I think.
Okay, House of Glory.
MLW.
And then Conan pretty much had 2 shows. And so they needed, okay, we can't just do LAX with Santana Ortiz. So that's when they brought in, what's her name?
Zelina Vega.
Selena Vega, whatever her
Thea,
name was.
yeah.
Thea.
What was her name?
Yeah, I forget her
No,
name.
she's
And then,
Serena or
Selena.
Sarita?
and then they brought in Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
So it wasn't LAX anymore. It was just Puerto
I
Rico.
think she was Rosita.
because they're all
something like
Puerto
that.
Rican. So
And then you-
LAX's whole thing was it was Latin America. It was Homicide was Puerto Rican, Hernandez was Mexican, but now it was just Puerto Ricans. So they could have just been called like the Puerto Rican Exchange.
And after Santana and Ortiz, is there somebody else? Like who's LAX now? Anybody?
Hernandez
There's
and
nobody-
Homicide came back.
Yeah, they did end up coming back
Oh.
at some point
So the original LAX
when Lucha Underground shut down.
is back
Yeah.
without Conan.
I
No,
do
Conan's
believe so.
still there.
Is he still there?
Oh, is he?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
He's somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
used
sure it's
Conan
Impact.
for like 2 shows. And then I think Sami Callihan beat him up because they were feuding with OVE.
Oh.
And Sami Callihan took Conan out, and then they just were like, okay, we don't really need you.
Oh.
He was in a wheelchair anywhere. Fuck it. Just go away. You're always causing problems.
And then we
King
have the Women's World Championship match. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb.
That's really weird. And
I
Did
think
Serena-
Serena Deeb's going to take it.
but didn't Serena Deeb just lose to Hiroshita?
No, she beat her.
She won.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Thunder Rosa hasn't had that long.
Tapped
has
her
she?
out.
Didn't she just get it?
She
Weren't both of these women in NWA?
Yeah, but
Oh.
she's not. Thunder Rose is not very strong on the mic and stuff. So
Yeah.
she's not.
Uh,
I would like Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb's almost like Ivory
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
In this world now, like all you fucking whore women, you're all worried about your bodies and all that shit. She kind of does the whole. No, that's not what she's saying, but that's kind of the. I'm here to wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't need to look good.
Well,
I don't
'cause
give a shit.
I don't need to be half naked.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the last promo she cut, she said about like when she was in WWE, she had got like implants and stuff, and she had shaved her head and did all this shit to show
She didn't
this,
shave her head.
this old pervert
Punk shaved her head.
who she was, she was referring to Vince, like,
Yeah.
I want to do this and stuff, and like, like he didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, like I'm doing shit my way.
Yeah, I think
now.
that's her kind of thing. Is that she is the. I came from an era where everybody was a bimbo, and I was trying to get over as a wrestler, and now I can show you that I am a great wrestler.
And then we have Hangman Page against CM Punk for the world title.
I think Hangman.
I think Hangman keeps it. I don't think Punk needs the belt. What does he do with it?
So
Don't give me that Punk turns heel bullshit.
What did Punk do in Ring of Honor?
I don't know. Send it to me again. You just read it like 3 hours ago. You're not allowed to get on a fucking high horse about it. You weren't there.
There's a
I was there.
conspiracy
Well, I
theory.
wasn't there, but I was watching.
And you didn't come up with it. You're stealing somebody else's shit.
It's like people that watch The Office on Netflix now. I fucking hate it.
But-
you fucking take one night of binge watching and watch the whole fucking thing of Jim and Pam getting together. I had to wait 3 years for that fucking shit because I watched it on television with commercials. Fuck you.
But do you think it's time?
I think he's a little
Punk-
bitter.
That Punk turns.
No, why?
Why?
Do we need Punk? Who does he work with if he turns heel? Who does he need to work with that he can't work with right now as a face to have just a wrestling match with? Where do you
I
go
think-
after you take the belt?
After he's done with Hangman, where does he
And
go?
Let's say you
But-
suit and tie, and you're now old school ROH heel Punk. One thing, he needs a fucking team. He needs a faction. He can't get over by himself in AEW.
I think
heel.
fans are still chanting for Punk, but I think that whole baby face, oh, I was gone, I'm back now, is kind of getting a little old.
What about Kenny Omega? Does he come back?
No.
And interfere?
I don't think he's
Not
cleared yet.
He should come back at Forbidden Door because he was
And-
bigger. He's big in New Japan. He's big in AEW. Come back at Forbidden Door.
And you could still turn Punk
Like
heel
leading-
even if he
leading a
loses the
group?
match.
Like he should be on the New Japan side?
I mean, have a
Against
Bullet Club
AEW?
match. Have a
Although-
Bullet Club match where he comes in at the end and says, "The fuck are you guys doing? Why are we still fighting?
Again, it
We need
seems
to unite this shit. Fuck the elite club, whatever the fuck they're called,
Super Elite or
the
whatever
super
they call it.
elite clique.
Yeah, isn't Jay White over there now too? So you could throw him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to be the leader. I just want to be the glue. Let's get this shit back together and figure out why we started this shit. And it's to take over pro wrestling, not to just take over one company.
I also feel like Hangman again is
Look it.
teasing like a turd. His
He's
promos,
he's fucking terrible.
his
He's a
promos are just
fine
like-
wrestler.
yeah.
Terrible promos.
I think it's time for Hangman to get to.
Hangman Bret Hart.
I think it's
Hangman Adam
it's
Hart.
time to get the belt off of Hangman because I think the fans are way past the.
But he's your guy. He's your homegrown guy. He's the first
If it's not
homegrown guy to
Punk,
get it.
It's MJF.
He's the first homegrown guy to get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it
He's
off
the
him for this
first
fucking
Non WWE guy.
Yeah.
No, Kenny.
Well, Kenny's not a WWE guy, but he was a New Japan guy.
he made his name.
He's the first guy to make his name in AEW and get the belt.
I think if it's not Punk, it's MJF.
I don't think MJF needs a belt. I don't think Punk needs a belt.
Like there's no Sting, no
Hangman-
Darby,
Hangman needed the
no
belt.
Orange.
They'll show up.
And still, Hangman still needs the belt.
Let's see.
He needs a good heel, though. Okay, this is the I want the belt. We're wrestling each other. Shake hands, code of honor. At the end, great fucking match. You are the young buck, no pun intended, who fucking bested me. I'm the old washed up guy. And somebody on Wednesday is gonna come out and say CM Punk is washed up and you can't fucking do it anymore. Maybe it's fucking Adam Cole, who is the new Owen Hart falling champion. Don't know, sell me. Maybe Adam Cole comes out and says, hey, CM Punk couldn't fucking do it. Maybe I should step up and do it. And then they feud because he's calling him out. Hangman needs a real heel
Hangman.
to sink his teeth into. And at the end of finally beating this guy, he gets his hand raised and says, "I fucking did it."
I forgot Hangman had the belt because
It's-
Hangman has Sting syndrome.
I'm not watching.
I
for
bought into
Hangman.
him chasing Kenny last
Yeah.
year. Now that he's got
Because
the
he
belt.
hasn't had a heel to work with
Yeah.
yet.
Now he's got the belt, and it's like, okay, now what? I don't
He
care.
worked with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole wasn't. Adam Cole gets cheered.
Yeah,
You know, we need a heel.
but that build for Hangman, I was into that. The whole year of him and Kenny.
It would have been good if it was Cody Rhodes as a heel at this point. Adam
Well,
Cole beating Adam. Fucking shit.
Cody being
beating
Hangman
one
as
of the
a-
Adams, one of the pages.
Adam Page beating Cody Rhodes as a heel in AEW would have cemented him now as a real thing.
I'm not watching AEW for Hangman. I don't hate Hangman, but
But you were last year when he was chasing,
Yeah,
like Sting. You
I was
needed that.
into that him and Kenny storyline.
Yes.
because he needs a good heel to work with.
And now that he's got the belt, it's like,
Kenny was a good heel to work with. You can't. You can have these one-off. I want the belt matches, but those should be the ones that are on Dynamite. Him and Cole on whatever it was. It was a Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
Or
Or Rampage, something
Yeah.
here.
Shouldn't be the culmination of that feud. That should have been him and Punk. Hey, tune in this week to see Hangman Page and CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole interferes.
give him the first hour like you did with Brian and,
Yeah.
and who was it that went that hour?
Oh, God. No, that was Punk.
Brian and Punk.
It was Punk that just.
I was on a.
Oh no, that was Brian. Oh, I thought you meant okay. Yeah,
They went an hour, the first
Yeah.
hour of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Rampage is an hour, so you would just give him the whole show.
this Sunday is Double or Nothing.
That was Brian and Hangman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay. Yeah.
Justin said that this is probably the least hyped.
It is.
Yeah. You went over
AEW
that card, and I'm
pay-per-view.
like, I could stay home and I wouldn't
Yeah.
miss anything.
We're still gonna watch
I mean,
it.
yeah. I mean, this is the first big. Is it the first big show without Kenny?
No.
He
No.
wasn't on the last one.
Yeah, it
There
wasn't
was
last one.
one
The first show
Revolution.
without Cody. Isn't it?
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know
'Cause
that.
Cody showed up in January at the Rumble. No, Mania.
In my door.
Yeah.
Every fight out of
Something,
control.
something, Cody.
Dirty on the fucking
Sunday
me.
is AEW Double or Nothing. I'm sure they'll put on a great show like they always do.
I'm sure it will be good. Yeah.
We'll be all watching it together. As you can see here, we have a brand new podcast title.
Ba-da-da, it sparkles.
White strap, big, beautiful belt. I'm in love with it. So you'll be seeing that being tossed around too.
Not toss me down.
But
It's pretty heavy to be tossing.
Toss my shallot. You remember when
Legends-
Conan used to say that live on TV every Monday? Yeah, and that was part of his thing. I was 8 years old, and I asked what that was.
Wow.
Nobody told me.
Legends of Hamburg, July
I know
23rd.
now.
It is a convention that you do not want to miss. And Booker T, Mr. Anderson, The Acclaimed, Dark Order, David Schultz, Greg
Headbangers,
Valentine,
Paul Roma, Greg Valentine,
Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin, rugged Ronnie
Tommy
Garvin,
Rich.
Coco Beware.
Demolition.
Tommy Rich, Demolition.
Fucking amazing.
It is a great convention. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to have us.
I can't
Help.
wait to walk around it.
Yeah,
And we still have
it's-
more time to
Yeah,
so
there's
we'll
still
probably have
more
more
coming.
guests.
As
Sergeant
always,
Slaughter.
Tugboat.
as always, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get podcasts. Follow Legends of Hamburg Fan Fest on all social media to keep up with the announcements every Wednesday.
7:00 Eastern.
Yes. Great episode today.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Happy
Later.
Memorial Day.
Later.